Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the Church of Pro Wrestling Throwdown. We're going to start this episode off with a special message. What we're going to do is we're going to make a comment here. We're going to close back out for 60 seconds, and then when we come back, we'll start the party, and we'll start the show.
Past couple days, someone very close to Pro Wrestling Throwdown lost someone very special to them, someone I've known since high school. Always remember that if you need to talk to somebody or something like that, the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK or
Suicide Prevention online on suicidepreventionlifeline.org
is always available 24 hours a day. Don't forget that there's tools, there's people who are here to listen to you, people here who understand, and suicide is never the ultimate answer to anything. While it seems like a quick fix, the aftermath and the devastation that's left behind after something like that is never good on anyone. So if you need help or you know someone that needs help, please pass along the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.
or have them check out suicidepreventionlifeline.org. And with that,
We'll be back.
Right back in 60 seconds.
60 seconds.
We do not have the rights to this music. Don't curse it! Don't report us to Wil Smith. He slaps people. He does.
On your mark, ready, set, let's go. Dance floor pro, I know, you know, I go psycho when my new joint hit. Just can't sit, gotta get jiggy with it. That's it, the honey, come ride.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Pro Wrestling Throwdown for the week of August 28th, 2022. As always, I am Caleb Black. This is Luke, the Big Dog Williams, along with our in-studio producer, the Mighty Max Fury, our in-studio editor, Big Bad John, and personal friends and family of the show are here as well. We got a packed house. We got a full house because it's time to go to church. Luke, how was your Sunday?
It's the day after Saturday.
Well, that's not a very fucking descriptive answer, is it?
Okay.
I ask you this every Sunday. And every Sunday I get, it's wrestling day, or how was your day? How was your Sunday, Luke?
Long.
Jesus, is this so? You know what?
We all know that no one cares what my Sunday's like. They all want to know how Max's weekend went. Max?
Max?
It's rough, man.
Was it rough, Max?
It's rough. Wanna know why?
Yes, I do, painfully.
Well, everybody was talking, and I decided I was going to go get a toilet brush. And, well, long story short, I'm switching back to toilet paper.
Probably a good idea. Probably a good idea. It is easier to get into the nooks and crannies, though, right?
But yeah, I mean, it did a good job, just a little rough.
I bet.
A little
I
rough.
bet. It's like sandpaper. It don't take shit off nobody.
I had zero idea where that bit was headed. Zero.
All the way to the comment section.
My
is where it went.
Lord, I have no idea. Hey, welcome back, Rob. You're just in time. The show just started.
I was Mia for a bit, too.
Were you?
At least once.
Can I be frank?
Can I still be living?
All right, so we're going to change up the format just a little bit today. We're going to start with some breaking news.
Breaking news.
Big Bad John, I didn't ask you how your Sunday was. My
Oh.
apologies.
Mine's freaking fantastic. That's all.
He's like, I'm here in your hot ass garage. These graphics working, you dick. Start the show. All right, breaking news for our top story of the day. Jeff Jarrett, who was the vice president of live events at the executive level for the WWE, has been fired and has been replaced by the Road Dogg, Jesse James.
The funny thing is I was sitting at the house after last week's show, and you had wrote me and was like, they fired Jeff Jarrett literally 3 minutes after we ended the show, which is a normal occurrence for us here. And I
Don't
mentioned,
drink, don't smoke.
I mentioned to my wife, I was like, I bet the Road Dogg takes his place, and
Yeah.
I'll be doggone.
You'll be Road Dogg
I'll
gone.
be Road Dogg gone. That they didn't put the Road Dogg back on the road.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a member of DX. He's one of the honorary members of the Clique, but so was Jeff Jarrett. He was a longtime producer, longtime road agent for the WWE, so it completely makes sense that they brought him back in, with Triple H, especially him and Shawn at the helm.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if we don't get other members of the Clique.
It's very
Maybe
possible.
Kevin Nash comes in, does a little creative.
Well, Sean Waltman would
Sean
be great.
Waltman coming to NXT. Come on, baby. Give everybody jobs.
Yeah, 100%. You have the funding.
We know you do.
Now that we know that it's not being spent other places.
Yeah, now that we know there isn't another $20 million coming up. Wouldn't that be some shit if in like 6 months it's like Triple H spends $11 million?
No, they're going to think it was Triple H, but it's really Stephanie. Hiding those Macho Man rumors. Anyway, there's also a little bit more breaking news. Caleb, I'm going to let you handle this one.
All right, guys. Johnny, if you want to take that breaking news graphic down,
Yeah.
I will address. So I know a lot of people are wondering how the situation at SnPW went with me and Dalton last night. Unfortunately, and look, I don't like the guy. It's obvious I don't like the guy. It's obvious we got some shit to take care of between the two of us. He had a massive family emergency pop up. He didn't go to the show. I knew he wasn't going to make it. I wasn't going to waste my time. Stay tuned, because we will absolutely revisit this when he is sound and ready to get that ass whipped. But I'm not going to throw the man under the bus, because he's got a lot going on.
Right.
And I'm a better man than that.
Right.
I'm not going to take pot shots. But stay tuned, because that's unfinished business and is absolutely going to get handled. So just wanted to get that out the way, because I know a lot of people tuned in this week to see that and to hear about it. I wanted to be a man up front about it. So with that being said, I think we got a whole last show to do today.
We do. We have a little bit different of a format this week.
Yeah, we did. Well, it was a slow news week, frankly. We don't have a lot to unpack.
We have 2 points race
Yes.
cards to
Yes,
make projections
we do.
for. However, AEW and their all-out pay-per-view will take place on Sunday, September 4th.
That's right.
Our show will not broadcast until Monday, September 5th.
That is right. We are going to be doing a very special live Labor Day Pro Wrestling Throwdown special on Monday. We still haven't decided the time, so make sure you're checking out the social media. And I'm telling you right now, make sure you're checking out the social media, because we don't know when it's going to be until later on this week. It may be a primetime episode. That's what we're shooting for. It's all going to depend on schedules, because that's also a member of the team's birthday.
Yes.
So,
Also, so what we're going to do with the points when we get into that section of today's video is we're going to take our picks on what we have now.
yes.
What has been announced now. Stay tuned to Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown to catch anything else if matches are added before Sunday.
Yeah.
We will make our picks on there. Everything will be added and calculated for Monday and Labor Day weekend.
The same thing will happen for Clash at the Castle. If anything
Yes.
is added for Clash at the Castle on either Raw or SmackDown this week, you will expect a prediction for us on Saturday. The rules for that are basically this. If we don't manage to make any predictions for the updates before the show happens, before it goes live, then whoever failed to make those predictions won't get any points at all for those matches.
Yes.
So if they announce something SmackDown Friday night and I miss it for Clash at the Castle and I don't make a post about it, I get no points for that at all. So
Yeah.
that-
Also, don't forget to stick around for after birthdays and bullshit today, as we're going to kind of dive into the world of intergender wrestling.
yeah.
Also,
That idea was completely designed by our in-studio producer, the Mighty Max Fury. He thinks it's a great talking point. We all agree.
Also, be sure to have your 5 questions ready afterwards. We'll answer and field 5 questions specifically to end the show, as we always do. But as of right now, let's get into the show.
Before we get into the show, I think it would be appropriate because we're going to be so up in the air this week, to shill our socials real quick.
All right, let's
That
do
way
that.
people know ahead of time, if you're just tuning in, where you can find us. You can find us at Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. You can also follow us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. You can send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. You can also follow us on TikTok at Pro Wrestling Throwdown 1. And you can check out Streamlabs.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown, where you can find our merch store. We got cups, we got hats, we got stuff. We got Pro Wrestling Throwdown corn dogs. No, we don't. However, we did finish the rendering on the Pro Wrestling Throwdown women's two-piece bikini today.
Yeah.
That features both of our mugs on the top piece and my mug on the bottom piece, making a provocative face because I'm a child.
Yeah, he is.
And that is live now on Streamlabs.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Shoot over there, and we will be we're shelling merch, baby. We got coffee cups.
Don't forget to tell them they can find us on YouTube.
They're watching us right now.
Oh wait, Wolfie, did you get the magnet, and how do you like it?
Enjoying
All right.
my awesome magnet.
All right, since we're at a bit of a lag,
Yes.
John just asked, what about the show in Crossville last night? I'm going to make a quick reiteration. Due to personal issues, personal family issues on behalf of somebody involved, neither one of us were able to make an appearance last night, so that is still up in the air. There is still unfinished business there, and that is all we're going to talk about it. If you want to hear more about it, you'll have to go back to the beginning of the show after this show goes into syndication on YouTube.
Yes.
Or whatever it's called, replay or whatever the hell.
Oh, I like syndication.
People still say syndication?
I say syndication.
Is this network TV?
Love it. We'll buy more soon.
Hey,
Fan-
another satisfied customer over at Pro Wrestling Throwdown.
Give him the link. Got to give him the link in the gun.
I'm all about satisfying the customers.
Sure he
God
is.
damn it.
He's very satisfying. I can't get no.
Satisfaction.
There you
I don't
go.
know what's going on here.
We don't have rights to that either.
All right. Before we get kicked off the air, let's do the show.
All right. Let's do what we got here to do in the first place.
It was a really slow news week. We didn't have a whole lot of breaking headlines except for stuff that we're going to integrate into the reviews of Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown. And we're going to start off with the return of Trish Stratus
Yes.
on Monday Night Raw in Canada.
Trish Stratus had a very, very big reception.
She did.
Coming
Hometown
in,
hero.
teased a little bit of stuff with Bayley, which, take my money, Trish Stratus.
And Bayley, hopefully, is going to be fantastic.
100%. That would be great. It's a good build if you wanted to build a long storytelling, say, Mania.
Yeah.
Rumble. Rumble
Yeah.
would be good to see Trish come back in. She usually does. I'd like to see if they're going to actually do something with Trish this go-round.
Yeah.
Would be fantastic to actually see
How
them.
about one more run?
One more run.
title run.
Right.
Put
One
the
more
belts
run
on.
would be great.
Put all the belts on. Make her Intercontinental Champion.
You know what? Have Roman. She beats Roman.
She beats Roman. She's the one who unsheaths the head of the table. Which, by the way, we did not get the Roman Reigns graphic that we had plotted up here. To go back to the beginning.
We had that at the beginning of Birthdays and Bullshit.
We said
no, that's
that was
right.
happening at the beginning of the show.
There it
Roman
is.
Reigns now.
How many-
730 days, right, Mac?
Yep.
Yeah, no, that was. There it is.
Yep, there it is. 730 days as your reigning and defending
Yeah.
WWE
Which
Universal
is-
Champion.
That's
2
2 years.
2 years.
2 years strong. Undefeated. Reigning and defending world champion.
Hasn't been pinned in over 2 years as well.
And has only wrestled 4 times.
He's wrestled more than 4 times.
All right, he's wrestled 5 times.
As to answer Rob's question, is Sasha and Naomi signed back on WWE? I believe so.
So they're right now doing what is a working contract negotiation. They are believed to be close to re-signing, as are several other names, specifically those two and Bray Wyatt. But we're probably not going to hear much more until after this women's tag tournament, closer to Survivor Series. It's going to be my guess.
I'm
The
going to
fact
guess
that
maybe Monday night.
Monday night to lead into Survivor Series.
They did the thing with Punk where he left with the belt.
Actually,
He comes back with
wait,
the belt. It
Are
looks
we?
the same to me.
Is Survivor Series next, or is that Saudi Arabia?
Survivor Series is November.
So it'd be a Saudi show this month,
Yes.
right? That's
Should
what-
be.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
thinking.
want to jump back on that Roman Reigns for a second. No.
I bet you would like to jump back on Roman Reigns.
You had to do that, didn't you?
Yeah, well,
Son of a bitch.
you know me.
No,
If Sami Zayn can be a member, so can I.
That's 2 years as the Universal Champion.
Yes.
Not the Raw Champion.
How many
Yes.
days has he been the other one?
Since WrestleMania. I haven't done the math on that because I don't really care.
That's fair.
It's not been
That doesn't really matter.
That hasn't been long enough of a reign to
Yeah.
even care.
I get it. Wolfie says, dang straight, love to see Trish win some gold again. Hey, Robert says, would be amazing to see Wyatt to make an appearance at Clash of the Castle and Orton. All things are possible. Orton is on the mend, and he should be back before the Royal Rumble. And then Wagner says, I heard rumor that Bray's going to interfere and Drew is taking them both, but that's just a rumor. Well, there are lots of rumors here in the wrestling business. We're going to get to a couple today ourselves. But let's keep on a trucking with some Raw results, because we're so good at that. Dexter Loomis is back, and he kidnapped The Miz.
He did.
Kidnapped the most must-see fucking guy on, I don't know what he says. I
So
don't,
what you're saying is he took the most must-see WWE champion of all time and
Yeah.
made him not seeable?
that he turned him into John Cena.
Turned him into John Cena.
Now, what do you think he did when he kidnapped him?
Well, there was this guy back in 2005 named...
I did right. I fucking
we
love
like to call it a Michael Cole in our circle of friends.
Basically, Heidenreich abducted Michael Cole on an episode of SmackDown randomly in 2005, building to his feud with The Undertaker. And the next pan shot you see is Michael Cole facing away from Heidenreich, but his hand around his neck with his face pulled toward him. And Heidenreich reads him poetry
In his ear.
in a closet.
All seductively and
And
stuff.
gross.
So, yeah, pretty much
Oh,
that.
I remember that vividly.
So, pretty much that.
That's
He's probably reading the Miz reviews of Miz.
Miz Maurice.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that show's killing it, the ratings.
I don't know if you know this, but your show was number 2 last week.
Yeah,
you
they're
know,
killing
something
it.
like that.
It's weird to think that he's on all of the most highest rated shows on USA Network right now.
Well, I mean, there's only 4.
Ooh. Well, yeah, since NCIS is reruns.
Yeah, and Psych's no longer on the air. So.
Well, Psych wasn't that good to begin.
You hushed your mouth
I
when you
just
talk about
calls it like a season, dog.
you. You know what?
What's that?
You know what? We're gonna pocket this.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna talk about it later.
Okay.
I'm gonna Will Smith the fuck out of you.
You better pack a lunch.
Like that.
What's next on the docket? Before we get kicked off the air.
We don't get kicked off the air. We run the air.
Oh, look!
Hey, Red
The
Shoes.
most anticipated return to Monday Night Raw that no one watched, no one gave a hot shit about. It's Johnny Saneface, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Wrestling, if you're asleep and 4 feet tall, Johnny Gargano made his return to the WWE, which now makes Rey Mysterio the tallest member of Raw's roster.
Okay, now hold on. For the wrestling fans and people who actually aren't jaded by the business, Johnny Same Face, as you like to call him. Actually, honestly, the crowd was very into it because we're all seeing what everyone's seeing, and that's we're gonna get DIY. Sorry, him and Ciampa as a tag team would be a great.
I thought it was
for the-
because they mistook him for Justin Bieber, but
No, well that and he kicked Austin Theory in the face. We all like that.
yeah, but he did it with a stack of
That's
phone
why
books. It
everybody
doesn't
was
count.
cheering.
Well, I mean,
That's why everybody's cheering. We're cheering for him. They're cheering because he kicked off.
Look, I know that in the independent wrestling scene and all the work rates, crackpots, that Johnny Gargano is your hero. He is just
here's the deal.
so painfully boring to watch, and I'm a Dean Malenko fan.
Well, now hold on. We have to be fair with the slow and the monotonous stuff that he's done. We also have Triple H and Michaels in control.
We do.
They could give the guy some more
They
personality.
could, as soon as they introduce a division that's less than 4 feet tall and 105 pounds.
But
He'd be great at 105 live.
he's at least 115.
So
now,
wet.
here's the deal. As much as we
I
don't
think
want to,
really mean Johnny Gargano today.
well, do I need to get into Jonathan Gresham?
I started to say, don't you fucking dare
Okay,
criticize me and my
But
feelings.
here's
about
the deal.
Gargano.
Here's what it looks like to me. If you really want to build what Triple H's NXT is
Yeah.
going to be, the two
mean
people
WWE.
the two people, yeah, thank you. The two people that stand out in my mind, and you're not going to like it, but it just does, is Gargano being the Michaels to Ciampa's Triple H.
Okay, but here's the thing. I can get behind Ciampa. Because Ciampa, number one, is relatively entertaining.
Maybe if
and
you can
number
get your hands
two,
in his beard,
Jesus. Looks like an oil filled.
it does.
Looks like a bird just made a
By the
nest
way,
in
this
there.
segment of today's show is brought to you by Ciampa's Beard Oil. It's oily, greasy, and makes you look homeless.
Just like... Anyway.
Just like it's Jonathan Gresham's wife.
Oh. Wow, this show took a turn.
Oh, come on.
No, you know what? Fuck it. I'm on the negativity train, too. Because fuck Johnny Gargano, and here's why. Ciampa, I can get behind. Ciampa looks serious. He's got a definitive. He's got a very unique look.
He does.
He looks like a badass, and yes, he's on the smaller side, too. I'm not just cracking at Gargano. Genuinely, I don't give a fuck how small you are as long as you can work. Gargano, technically, incredibly sound.
He really is.
One of the best technical wrestlers in the business, and I can fully endorse that. But it is like watching fucking paint dry when you want to get excited about his matches and when you listen to him speak.
See,
You
that's
cannot tell
that's
me-
the biggest.
You cannot tell me that when you tuned on in Raw, you got excited and thought, oh wow, can't wait to hear what Johnny Gargano has to say. Actually, what you thought was, oh good, I can go get another drink. Which
Well-
I did.
Well, here's the deal. When it comes to that, yes, he needs a little bit more work on the
I
mic.
thought you were going to say, yes, we know you got another drink.
Well, I was.
You've had 4. Anyway, the thing is what I'm saying is with the right push, without Vince McMahon having final say over everything,
And a step stool.
get Ciampa out of these lime green and pink tights with the Miz, put him back in the black, and have him go for gold.
Put some
again.
lifts in his boots.
That's how you do it. But who's the best person to put him with to get him out of that is Gargano as a tag team.
Yeah, you're right.
It's them and the Usos would be worth the entire year span.
Them and the, now, again,
Maybe the
them
New Day?
Them together,
Yeah.
that's a different conversation. But right now, he's going to be featured as a singles, and it's going to be painfully fucking boring. That's my opinion. I know some of you disagree, and it's okay to be wrong. It's fine. It happens to
Jonathan
me
Gresham's
all the
wrong all the time.
I see this guy, and he criticizes me for. But however,
I didn't criticize.
my dislike for Gargano is not personal at all, and is
Oh, mine
specifically
is.
out of spite.
Mine is.
Just petty malice.
Well, here's the deal. We don't have other wrestlers that are still in the business anymore to pick on. So Gargano.
No, that's well. We still got Glenn Gilberti. Oh, can we talk about that idiot for a
We
second?
totally talk
All right,
about Glenn Gilberti.
look. This show has zero control today, and I'm all about it because this is actually really fun. Fuck Disco Inferno. And we've actually had to say that on this show several times.
More than once.
But today, Disco Inferno can go fuck himself. He tweeted, all right, so there's been some discourse, and we're going to get to that when we get into the AEW segment. There's been some discourse about fat shaming in the wrestling business, which has always existed. It's always been there. We've always dealt with it. Don't you get
We
me
ain't got
started on
time. We ain't
Dave
got
Meltzer.
time to unpack that.
fucking
We ain't got time for that.
crackpot.
We ain't got time. For that.
Anyway, there's been some discourse about fat shaming, and Disco Inferno, who has never drawn a fucking dime, who couldn't work a fucking broomstick, and had only a job because Kevin Nash laughed at his dumb jokes and because he decided to drive sometimes, which are all very important points, basically tweeted that wrestlers need to get over it, get their asses into a gym, and there is no such thing as fat shaming. You got to get in shape to do the job. To which I say, Disco Inferno, at the height of your career, you
Still
were
shorter than Jonathan Gresham.
5'11", and you weighed like 210 pounds. Now, were you fit? Sure. But you was a small man in a big man's game, and certainly now you're not in the condition to have that comment. And I say that because I've watched Dusty Rhodes and Harley Race wrestle.
Yokozuna.
Kevin Owens, if you want to get into today. Rikishi. Literally any Samoan wrestler after 1985, most foreign menaces that spawned out of Western Europe from the periods of 1973 and 1994, not including the American heroes of the 80s like Earthquake and Hillbilly Jim, who were also larger, more portly men who were always booked on top. Mark Henry, who is a 4-time Olympic champion in 4 different sports and a 4-time genuine world champion who was never a small man, King Kong Bundy, The Big Show, the list goes on and on and on. There are several precedents in which a big man can still thrive in the wrestling game. Not everybody has to have the same look, and in fact they shouldn't, because then we all look like carbon copy fucking cookie cutter Ring of Honor wrestlers, and it doesn't work. You know why it doesn't work? Because it failed dead. Go ahead.
All right. You good?
Yep.
Breathe. All right.
Yep.
Anyway, here's the deal. Take any one of them gentlemen who are still alive
Yeah.
and have Disco tell them that fat shaming doesn't exist or that you should just get over it. Tell Rikishi, Especially.
I'll tell you what. You call up Mark Henry, and you tell Mark Henry, world's strongest man, Mark Henry, 4-time legitimate world champion in 4 different sports, Mark Henry, that he should trim up and say it to his face, record it, and we will all see the outcome of what...
Well, hold on. Send it to Pro Wrestling Throwdown.
So we have the exclusive right
so
to it.
we can put it on the
And
show.
then, after that happens, walk your ass through my garage and tell these 3 men of God who sit before you that we need to trim up. And I guarantee you that not only will I beat the fuck out of you, but then I'll eat you.
Well, I might lose 20 pounds just beating the fuck out of him. That's
Fucking
how that
pud.
works here.
Fat shame me, I'll fuck your wife.
And what kind of a name is Glenn Gilberti anyway? Let's be real here. You changed your name to Disco Inferno because you thought that sounded better?
Yeah. Everybody
I don't
knows
think so,
every
bro.
Glenn in wrestling sucks.
I don't think so, bro. I
Don't drink,
think so.
don't smoke. We're on fire today, kids.
That's
It's gonna
right.
be a
Let's
show.
get back into the next slide so we know where we're at.
Half hour in, what else happened on Raw?
Let's see. Oh, yes. By all means, let's talk about Canada's favorite export.
Hey, look.
Edge.
I like that. Edge and Damian Priest main evented Monday Night Raw.
They did.
And had a fucking barn burner. Now, not as good personally to me as Dolph Ziggler and Finn Balor was, because that was also a fucking clinic. Loving Dolph. We talked about this off air. Dolph Ziggler getting featured every single week on Raw is only good for business. But yes, we got Edge and Damian Priest in the main event, and Caitlin says we love a thick king, and we thank you for your patronage. Go ahead.
I just love the fact that you use the word patronage and you haven't used that one word you use all the time.
What, fuck?
No. You've used that at least 12 times. I don't remember. It was a weird word. Jib. You haven't used the cut of your jib
Hey,
yet.
I don't like the cut of your jib, pal.
There you go. See, there it is. For everyone wondering. No, yeah, Dolph Ziggler on top, getting main level pushes is fantastic. But let's go back to the Damian Priest Edge thing. The finish was a little left wanting.
Yeah.
At the end.
But we got a Canadian Destroyer, much to Corey Graves' enjoyment, because he lost his ever-loving mind.
100%. But also, you got to add in the fact that we had Rhea Ripley come in, do the low blow thing.
And then we got that
And
Phoenix
then we got
with the chair.
a tease with Beth and Rhea.
Beth and
Take my
Rhea,
money.
take my money.
Yeah,
Beth
100%.
Phoenix, Rhea Ripley. Also, real quick, before we dump out of Raw, we saw Bayley confront Trish. We talked about that. Io Sky and Dakota Kai defeated Asuka and Alexa Bliss in a tag match.
Very underwhelming.
Yeah,
tag match.
we also had, we talked about Balor and Ziggler. Kevin Owens and Chad Gable had a hell of a match. It was quick. It was only to get Kevin Owens over. But the thing that I liked the most was about that match was Otis attacking Kevin Owens. Because if we're going to have Otis versus KO, that's a fight match.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I want
to
to
pop up powerbomb.
We also saw the tag match take place between AJ Styles and Bobby Lashley. Took on The Miz and Ciampa to a no contest because Dexter Lumis then kidnapped The Miz.
Yep.
And that basically, Bayley defeated Aaliyah.
Now here's the deal.
And Rollins and Riddle opened up the show with a fight, and we were just talking off air about how much we're looking forward to that match Sunday because we haven't got it in 3 months.
Yeah.
We've been waiting on it. That match is going to rock. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to forget that part.
Well, you went off on that tangent about Johnny Gargano. Anyway, which, you know, you probably will 2 more times. Johnny Same Face.
Who?
Johnny No Talent.
Johnny Boring.
Johnny Boring. Johnny Wrestling.
What?
Baby Wrestling's dad. Candace Wrestling's husband, I guess. Anyway, but no, the baby
Johnny
match with
LaRae.
Aaliyah. Johnny LaRae. Man, Aaliyah's she's just not good. She's just not good. You could tell Bayley was the general in that match and put that whole thing together. There was a bunch of blown spots.
She
There
is
was a
green
bunch
as
of-
shit.
There was a bunch of like dead air for a wrestling match, which was really weird.
And especially in a Bayley match.
Yeah.
Because Bayley is known to go wire to wire, one of the best women's wrestlers in the business, if not one of the best wrestlers in general.
Yeah, just change your gear.
She needs to lose those extra bags on the pants. Her pants
The
are
padding,
cool, but
yeah.
those.
They
look like they're
not attached. They're
like-
strapped on.
Yeah. They're weird.
It's kind of like how Seth Rollins' Shield thing had the clicky things on
Yeah.
it. That's what it
And
was.
yes, John, we are going to cover Kurt Angle's Monday Night Raw appearance next week when everyone tunes in on the special September 5th Labor
Is that
Day
your
edition.
motor running?
Is it getting out of the highway?
It might be. We don't own the rights to that song either.
We don't own the rights to any of this. We do an entire show of copyrighted material.
As far as Raw in a whole, I give it a 4. It did what it needed to do.
Hey,
The crowd was live.
It pumped Edge in Toronto. It pumped Trish in Toronto. It got
Owens.
It got Theory over. It got Owens over. Literally, they had. So the report came out that Raw this past week featured more wrestling as far as total TV time, which is a 3-hour time segment, at clocking in at like an hour and 28 minutes of full-time bell-to-bell in-ring action. That's also including entrances.
Yeah.
But if you look at the layouts of the previous shows with all the promos and the fact that they lose roughly in 3 hours, what is it, 14 minutes an hour, so roughly 45 minutes
Yeah.
to commercial breaks alone, that's a pretty damn well-cut wrestling
It
show.
really is. Also, the promos that they did cut boosted the main event. It boosted several different things that it needs to. It's
Yeah.
killing the demographic for sure.
Monday Night
It
Raw
really
was better this week. It keeps getting better. And we're going to keep getting more and more the more Triple H is able to organize it. He's got his own road agents now. He's got his own producers. Hopefully, God willing, they fire writers and him and Sean just sit down to book the territory. Because if we go back to a two-booker system, the entire show changes. That's a pipe dream, but here's hope.
Well, yeah, Eric Bischoff said it best 2 weeks ago, and that's give it 6 weeks, and it'll get better.
And we are at what? Week
And
4?
they actually
4 or
asked
5?
Eric Bischoff if he thought about getting back into it, and he said, I don't know what I would contribute because everything that I would do, they're doing right now.
Yeah. Bischoff's killing it. By the
So,
way,
I mean,
shameless plug. If you don't listen to it, obviously, I always show all of Jim Cornette's podcast, The Experience of the Drive-In, because he's my hero.
I never heard you do that before.
not once.
But Conrad Thompson's podcast network with all of his legends is really something right now. He's got Flair doing a podcast. He's got Nash doing a podcast, which I've binge listened to all 12 hours of work. It's great. He's also got one with Road Dogg, Matt Hardy, Jeff Jarrett, Eric Bischoff. He's got a huge... Bruce Pritchard has one when he can show up for work because, he's busy on the road and drinking.
Yeah.
But, speaking of really good podcasts, you can always share ours with all your friends.
You know what?
Also true.
I love that you went there because I was about to do a social show, and I really appreciate that transition because we're at the half-hour mark now plus. And don't forget, if you love our podcast, you love our show, number one, please like the stream today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to participate in the chat. You got to do that as well. You can also find us on Facebook.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. You can follow us on Twitter at ProWrestlingTD. You can send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. You can follow us on TikTok at ProWrestlingThrowdown1. You can also check out StreamLabs.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown where you can find our merch store. We are turning into iCarly, aren't we?
We really are.
And spaghetti tacos for days.
As long as I get to be Spencer, I don't care.
Yeah, are you going to invent cool things?
Yeah.
Like a Pro Wrestling Throwdown bikini that you can now buy at
his face on
StreamLabs.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown.
Actually, technically,
with all of our with our faces.
With our faces
I just
on-
happen to have
on-
my face in two really important places.
well, I'm on the right side, and the right side's always been my favorite
That's
side.
Check that out. We've also got magnets.
My wife can
We've been
confirm.
selling those. We've got cups. We've got backpacks. We've got. I think we're going to be rolling out fanny packs.
Well, and
We
here
talked
with
about that
school
last week.
starting back up, you've got backpacks, you've got notebooks,
Duffel bags, yoga pants too.
tumblers.
Yep.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things that you can get to rep your boys.
Yeah.
Just rep your boys.
Let's get some merch. Hold on
sure.
real quick. Rob says, who cares about Kurt Wash-Up Angle? Robert Page? In my house, we respect the name of the... You know that he won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck? Did you
No,
know
he
that?
didn't.
It's true.
Really?
It's damn true.
Hmm.
Fucking love you.
I-
Where were we? Were we doing a show here?
yes, we are actually getting ready to go into the next slide.
Hey, it's time to talk about AEW. It's time to get over to Dynamite, which opened the show with Daniel Garcia.
And his mother.
That's
Jericho looks very womanlike in
Chris
that
Jericho.
picture. I'm sorry.
For those of you who missed previous week, Daniel Garcia got a reception from the wrestling fans.
Yes.
Saying you are a wrestler versus the sports entertainer heel faction that Jericho's building, which honestly is entertaining. I watched that segment last week, and with Jericho trying to tell Garcia, you're not a good pro wrestler, but you're a great sports entertainer. Like, that's good heel shit. I don't
It
care.
really is.
And then, of course, Daniel Bryan comes out to interrupt, tells Garcia he's a great wrestler, setting up for the match with Bryan Danielson and Jericho. But Jericho did say something I liked. Jericho said, right now, people say that you're the best professional wrestler in the world. Well, people have told me that I'm the best professional wrestler ever. It's going to be a great match. Jericho's on fire right now. He's in the best shape he's been since he came to AEW.
Well, while we're on the Jericho topic, he was on. He had Kurt Angle on his podcast.
Yeah.
To which Kurt Angle told Jericho, he's like, "You were at one point in your career at Shawn Michaels'
Level.
on this level,
Yeah.
and because of what you've been able to do and how you've been able to keep yourself in the limelight and reinvent yourself, there is cause for you to be the greatest of all time."
Yeah. So that
Hard to
match,
argue.
genuinely, I know a lot of people give Jericho crap, but man, he's genuinely at the top level right now. Like I said, he's in the best shape he's been in. If you didn't watch the match he had, what was it, 2 weeks ago against Moxley?
Yeah.
Was great.
Oh, it was
And
fantastic.
that match, you know he's going to show up for. He's going to deliver. It's got a great story. They've got the factions going on. William Regal's involved, so you know it's going to be good.
100%.
That match, that whole series is definitely.
I know that we don't have NXT to talk about other than when Worlds Collide here in a
which
little
we're
bit.
going to get to.
But we need to also make it clear that last week on Heatwave
Yeah.
at NXT, William Regal's son debuted on NXT.
Yes, he did. And we also got the contract signing that's going to head the unification matches from NXT this
Yes.
previous week, which we're going to talk about in Worlds Collide once we get to the pay-per-view segment.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want,
yeah.
Rob asked about koozies.
Yes.
A little bit ago. We are working on those. That's one of the
Yeah.
items that we're working on.
Yes.
All of our merch stuff we're trying to roll out in increments. Number one, it costs us money to produce them, obviously. And then number two, we just want to make sure they're quality when we get them out. We also don't want to have, like, we're trying to show the coffee cup right now because the winter season's coming. So it's counterintuitive to try to push the koozie until we can get to the winter season so we can promote that for the summer. So we're trying to do it seasonally so we're not just like, oh, buy everything, whereas we can specialize stuff too.
100%.
I'm also remiss to mention the website. If you donate to the website, if you make a purchase to the website, or if you correct us on wrestling facts during the show, your name gets entered into our little bucket for the end of the month drawing. This month is a coffee cup. Next month, we've already decided, is a personalized message from the team here at Pro Wrestling Throwdown.
That is
hold on one second.
entrance per dollar
Yes.
spent or donated.
Rob says he's got to go. His grandson's demanding attention. Can't hate that. Love the grandbabies. Angle still sucks. True. Broken neck and all. Just kidding. Much love and respect. Love you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. So let's get over back to Dynamite
Yes.
this week. What did we say happened next? Okay, this is what I thought it was.
Yeah.
So in a very weird, very oddly timed segment, right around the middle of the show, Thunder Rosa was cut to a single frame camera shot with Tony Schiavone, as you see here, and basically said she's injured and that she cannot perform as AEW Women's Champion right now. And so at All Out, they're going to be determining an interim AEW Women's
So we
Champion.
need to get another
in lieu of her injury.
championship belt. That's what I'm saying.
So there's a ton of information coming out right now regarding Thunder Rosa and her standing in the AEW locker room. And it's pretty much 50-50. Most of the, like half the women don't want to work with her and think that she's a showboat and takes up all the attention. She's got a bad working attitude. The other half of the women think that she's great to work with. The issue that I think they're finding the most with is that the women who have the most say in the locker room, i.e. Britt Baker,
Are
right
on the
now,
other side of the
are on
fence.
the other side of the fence on
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa. We have been very, me especially, I don't know why I said it like that. Why did I sound like a hillbilly? Me especially, has sung the praises of Thunder Rosa. I think she's an incredible talent. However, there is something to be said about your ego interfering with your professional relationship.
100%.
So, we're not saying the injuries a work or that's the reason that she's not there, but that's what I'm saying I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't know that to be true, and I'm not going to be here and be one of those guys like, oh, it's a work, brother. Just go fuck yourself. I don't care if it's a work. I watch wrestling.
Yeah.
And if you care if it's a work, stop. Enjoy it. Stop ruining it for others. Rick? But anyway, so Thunder Rosa,
Speaking to you.
Thunder Rosa is currently out as AEW Women's Champion, and the 4 women who will compete at All Out, let me pull that up real quick since it's part of the show we're doing, are going to be Toni Storm, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Hikaru Shida. So we're going to have 2 former AEW Women's AEW Women's Champions in the mix. Ought to be a damn good 4-way, which we'll cover the rest of the card when we get there.
Yes.
Up next, however, we have to talk about the goose that laid a golden shit. No, that's not the next one. Were we saving that for last? That's fine.
Yeah.
We did see the quarterfinal match for the Trios tournament in Death Triangle taking on Aussie Open, the team of Will Ospreay and his the other two.
Yes.
Will Ospreay and Aussie Open against Death Triangle. That is Pac and the Lucha Brothers. It got a 5-star rating from Dave Meltzer. But if you
They're
watch
going
the
mouth a
match,
little bit.
it was all high flying. It was all fucking go, no quit. Literally bell to bell for the last almost full 24 minutes of the broadcast. They didn't stop.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there because I have to point something out that I noticed during that show. AEW in the beginning, when they started everything out, they talked about how we're going to have a more sports-based professional wrestling show.
And then Pac stood on the apron trying to do a
Pac
backflip for
goes
30
up
seconds.
to the top rope to hop out on the two on the outside and took 37 seconds.
Hold on. He was standing on the top rope and then climbed to the back post.
Yeah.
But he couldn't get his footing, which, if you watch the video, when he goes to take a step back, he grabs the ropes very quickly and shakes his head because he could not get his footing. It took him 30 seconds to get there.
If you can't get there,
Do something else.
switch it up.
Do something else.
37 seconds of dead air makes it look.
When you're looking at TV time, 30 seconds can determine an award-winning series finale in every television setting ever.
100%.
So-
we just sat here and just shut up for 30 seconds.
You turn, you
Everybody just
switch the channel.
But
Yeah.
we could do that anyway because Caleb's never done that in his life.
Ever.
That's true.
He breathes through his eyes.
That's true. However, the Aussie Open did pick up the win.
They did.
Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks came out and did some jaw-jacking. Omega kind of hit Ospreay a little hard on the mic.
Yeah.
Talking about how he thinks he's the best wrestler in the world and he's never been even considered one of the best. They did a little bit of a, push and pull with the tag teams getting in the way.
Yeah.
It looks hot. It's going to be fine. Obviously, this is all going to set up for the tournament. And then once all members of Red Dragon are healthy, they'll come out and challenge for the trios titles.
100. Yep.
But
Yep.
they're setting up, again, however you feel about more belts. You know what I think that one of the issues is that they've already got a 6-man title in Ring of Honor.
Hold on. Ember Moon isn't getting a shot at the world title because she's Cargill's opponent.
Yeah. Ember Moon is wrestling Jade Cargill for the TBS title.
Yeah.
So
So, doesn't make it.
which we're going to cover when we get to the card, you impatient twat.
Yes, knock it off. I tell you this every week.
That's right. So let's get back to the goose that took the golden shit, shall we?
Yes.
Because I have a lot of opinions. Who's surprised? No, wait.
Oh, we're
where's
missing
our,
one.
Where's our pumpkin mop slide at? Did I not send you a pumpkin mop slide? Hold on here. I may have not done my job. Shut up, you. I didn't. Yes, I did. It's right here, Johnny.
Huh, it must have switched on us while we were.
You know what? You guys are going to see some of the process live right now.
No, they can't see this.
Oh nope, it didn't develop.
It
That's
didn't
why.
develop, that's why.
Okay, not their fault.
That
Anyway, take it down. We'll talk about it real quick. We
Yeah.
don't need a graphic for
Yeah.
it. John Moxley and CM Punk, which on paper would have been the highest grossing main event match for AEW probably in all of their almost 4 years of business,
yes.
was scheduled to be the main event for their highest grossing pay-per-view
Yep.
all year, All Out, a week ago. And then immediately after their altercation last week on Wednesday Dynamite, they announced that we're not waiting until the pay-per-view that we've scheduled a week and a half out. We're doing it next week.
Yep.
Live on TV. Number one, it wasn't even the featured main event. It closed out the first hour of the show. Number two, it was all of 8 minutes long
That's counting entrances.
with
6.
with John Moxley
Counting it.
working CM Punk's leg for most of the match, taking the win, and John Moxley, who zero discredit to John's contributions
Yeah.
or star power in AEW,
Yeah.
is now your current reigning and defending AEW World Champion over their highest grossing and highest drawing star, which is CM Punk, who just returned as their world champion.
I think a lot of it has to do with the plan for All Out, which I believe is going to be a rematch. And I believe that when Punk said in the promo
Don't
to
drink
John
that stuff.
Moxley that you weren't going to be the only John that I take a title from in Chicago, I think that they're building towards CM Punk beating John Moxley in Chicago for the undisputed heavyweight championship. And of course, we'll get into more of All Out as we go through
I just
into that segment.
don't get how you have literally the biggest drawing main event that you could possibly have in your current landscape, with the exception of getting, with the exception of Seth Rollins just appearing on Dynamite and challenging for the world title.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you give that away on free TV in a lackluster match at the first hour of the fucking show, you don't even get all of the full ratings for the main event, which we saw because the ratings dropped. They were at 1.5 million viewers up until that match, and they dropped down. They still held 1 million,
Yeah.
but they lost 500,000 homes. And that's Nielsen ratings, which isn't real ratings anymore. And one of these days, I'll explain all of that to everyone so they understand.
Well, but here's the deal. You could have had that same lackluster match on
In the main
pay-per-view
event?
and had buy rates.
In the main event of the pay-per-view.
They took what would have sold $59 to any cable company or satellite company a home.
Rock and Cena was the highest grossing main event in WrestleMania history.
Yep.
That's fact.
Yep.
That's like Vince going to Rock and John Cena and saying, hey, we know you're scheduled for WrestleMania next week, but why don't you guys come out, open up Raw, Rock, you beat John in 3 minutes, and then fuck off for a year.
I'll do you one better. That's like telling Stone Cold Steve Austin that you're going to lose to Brock Lesnar on Monday Night Raw in a King of the Ring tournament final when you could have it on pay-per-view. Or a qualifying match, right?
Now, I can also understand, hey, there was some shock value we can build for the rematch, the potential main event, but come the fuck on. That is as soon as it happened, no joke, I looked at my wife and I said, that is the most WCW thing I've seen in 22 fucking years.
100. I agree totally. Here's the deal. One, it always reverts back to Jonathan Gresham. No, I'm kidding. It always.
I was actually saying in my head, Johnny Gargano. Which is
it circles back in my mind to Vince's lackluster booking for the last 8 months.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this match at the pay-per-view, and then like day one, and then nope, Roman can't do it, so we're just gonna take Brock and we're have him win the other belt.
We're gonna have
Because that
Goldberg
makes
beat the
sense.
Fiend.
But here's the deal: the difference between that is that Vince did it on pay-per-view
Where
for
he
the
got the
buy
buy
rate.
rate.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. Obviously, we'll see what happens Wednesday night. They could fix it then. There are 2 main events being discussed currently. The possibility of holding off on the rematch and having Moxley defended against Jericho, which actually, no, can't happen because he's wrestling Danielson.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll find out on Wednesday night, which we'll talk about.
It's gonna be Punk. Punk's gonna win the Paige is gonna win the Casino Battle Royal, and that's what we're gonna have. That's where I see it going.
Yeah. Let's hop back over to the Kingston Gavarro slide. Because this is where the conversation about fat shaming came in. This is where a lot of legitimate heat got stirred up. Eddie Kingston's in trouble. Sammy Guevara's in trouble. The whole lot of them are legitimately in trouble. They were building to a match at All Out, which in fairness would have been damn good. It would have got Kingston some shine. Where Gavarro took exception and mentioned Kingston's weight in a promo. Now, Gavarro went on to say, if I'd have known he didn't want me to say that, I wouldn't have said it. But
Kingston on his half says that I told him not to say it.
But
he did it anyway.
Basically, what happened in the real world is when Gavarro got back to the locker room, Kingston was waiting in Gorilla, which is the position right in front of the production room. It's right in curtain.
Yep.
Basically took a swung at Gavarro, told him he couldn't talk about his fucking weight, and had legitimate heat to the point where Kingston got suspended. Gavarro got taken off TV, and now their match is canceled.
Here's the deal. What happened is that Sammy Guevara is living in this fantasy realm of being a professional wrestler. What he doesn't realize is when you go back through that curtain, you're a man.
Yep.
And Eddie Kingston is
in real
about
life is not a slouch.
he's about as manly as a man can get.
And then that idiot from 2.0 put up a tweet calling Eddie Kingston a bitch, which he immediately took down
course he
because
did.
number one, the Twitter universe was like, no, and then Eddie Kingston saw
You
the
trying
tweet,
to get punched too?
and then Eddie Kingston saw the tweet and it was like, you got something to say, come say it. Also, let's talk about another quick Kingston tweet when he tweeted out, did y'all see Moxley bite the head off the snake on Dynamite?
Yeah.
Taking a shot at Punk, because Punk took a shot at him.
Uh-huh.
I'm loving I love the real life drama. As soon as Kingston and Claudio can get their hands on each other, fucking money made, because they hate each other in
That
real
is
life.
the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship.
Actually, they don't even hate each other in real life. Kingston hates Claudio. I'm not even sure Claudio gives a shit.
I don't think Claudio knows what Kingston's real name is,
I
to
love
be
it.
honest with
Yeah.
you.
All right, so here we are. That closes up pretty much everything from Dynamite. I'll go over anything I might have missed real quick, because we do that now. Colton Gunn defeated Billy Gunn, his father,
Yeah.
in a match with the help from the Acclaimed. And we found out my favorite thing, that the Motor City Machine Guns will be involved in a 6-man tag match with Jay Lethal against Wardlow and the current reigning and defending AAA, NJPW, and Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, affectionately known as FTR, which means in the year of our Lord 2022, we are going to have FTR and the Machine Guns in the same damn ring and attack match.
On prime time.
Give it to me. Give it to me, Tony.
100%.
Give it to me
It's
hard.
going to be great. When you put those 6 athletes in the ring against each other in any shape or form, any number of athletes, you're going to have a barn burner of a match. It's going to be great. It's a good way to boost Wardlow. It's a good way to get Impact some shine. It's a good way to continuously build the FTR push that you're on right now. Everyone wins.
You know what hurts it? The other 6-man tag match being on the pay-per-view.
Yes.
Because at one point it's the trios tournament, which determines the 3-man tag team champions, and then a match that's really going to feature 2 singles wrestlers and 2 incredible tag teams.
Yes. All right, let's move to SmackDown, which we've seen a last chance edition.
Battle Royal for the women's tag team titles. So we sang the praises of Toxic Attraction last week.
It was a fatal 4-way.
Yes. We sang the praises of Toxic Attraction, talking about how they got their call up, how they're going to take all the spotlight, and then in their match to qualify for it, Gigi Dolan got hurt.
Yeah.
So now, instead, we got on SmackDown a fatal 4-way tag team match featuring Nikki ASH Dewdrop taking on Sonya Deville, Natalya, Shotzi Blackheart, and Xia Li, and
Dana Brooke.
Dana
I know
Brooke.
It doesn't look like her anymore.
yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, Dana. Gee, you weren't kidding
I
last week.
told you, she has a new face.
Holy crap!
And, of course, Tamina Snuka.
Tamina Snuka.
Which was won.
Hey, what up, nerd, with your nerd hair? That's my son.
Which was won by Natalya and Sonya Deville, who went on later in the night to wrestle Aaliyah and Raquel Rodriguez and come up short.
Yeah.
So your women's tag team title finale,
Finalist, which will take place on Monday Night Raw next week.
which also will have the return of Kurt Angle.
And feature the Labor Day special that we're going to be doing for one of our members' birthdays and the Labor Day show. So remember, we're not here next Sunday. We're doing it Monday.
We're doing it Monday. Will be Bailey's kids versus Braun
Hashtag
Strowman's
Bayley's
girlfriend and the
We
one who
don't die,
can't
we
work.
multiply. Ought to be a great match. What else happened on SmackDown here?
Well, let's go to our next slide, see what we got.
Man, our editor is killing it today.
Yes.
The New Day return.
Yes.
They're gearing up for their match with the Viking Raiders, which is really getting good. The
really
Viking
is.
Raiders held the funeral last week in a very weird segment, but if you understand like Viking lore, I guess for the cross section of nerds who understand that shit. But the New Day came back. SmackDown. Talk about it.
They come out to the ring. Xavier Woods in a boot in a wheelchair. Kofi Kingston started talking to the crowd about we underestimated the Viking Raiders. That maybe the funeral was appropriate for the New Day. Was basically getting into a speech where it kind of sounded like they were going to take their leave of absence and step away. Viking Raiders come out. They're like, y'all are in the ring. We're going to do this the way we did. We gave you a perfect send-off, and you had to come back and ruin it. And this, that, and the other. They get in the ring. They start to back down Kofi Kingston. At that point, Xavier Woods gets up out of the wheelchair. In the boot, he had 2 kendo sticks. Tosses the kendo sticks to Kofi Kingston, and they wear out the Viking Raiders.
Yeah.
So we're going to get next week on SmackDown for the 200th celebration of Roman Reigns. We're going to get in a Vikings rules match, the New Day versus the Viking Raiders.
Ought to be a
Which
damn
is
good-
I got clarification on what exactly a Viking rules match is.
Well, I wish you would.
It's nothing short of a pinfalls count anyway.
All right, I'm down.
So that's what the plan is for the New Day and the Viking Raiders going forward.
Yeah.
My thing is, there's a draft being talked about that's being kicked around. I think that we're going to start seeing the end of a lot of these storylines and a lot of these ways that
A lot
we're
of
going
things
with
gearing
these,
up to cut over to Survivor Series and the
so
draft
we
that
can
follows.
switch people around.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, a great segment.
Agreed. What happened next, Big Bad John?
There he is.
The MVP of the WWE and SmackDown, Sami motherfucking Zayn.
There he is.
He wrestled Drew McIntyre in the main event.
He did.
Killer match. Sami Zayn comes up short. Obviously, Drew McIntyre is still #1 contender, but that is, once again, we said it last week, I'll say it every week, hardest working dude in professional wrestling.
His promo this week with the Usos,
Absolutely.
where Jay's just not having it.
Yeah.
And yet him and Jimmy have their own handshake with each other.
Yeah.
Before he leaves the room, and Roman's like, who's out in the hallway? Because they wouldn't let him into the room,
Yeah.
and Jay's like, you need to be in there. Roman's like, who's out there? And he goes, it's Sammy. He's like, Sammy, why are you out in the hallway? Come in here. It's fantastic. It's
The look
also...
on Jay's face of just I can't believe I got to deal with this shit.
You know,
It's the planting the seed.
yeah. It also adds a really nice element. The bloodline should be taken very seriously, and that's the way they're presented since Roman's return at SummerSlam 2 years ago. But man, it adds a new element that makes it fun to watch again without the expectation that Roman's going to come out, they're going to dominate. It gives you something else to enjoy because, well, now they got cannon fodder. Now they got a member who can take an L and it's not going to hurt the team.
Yeah.
They've got the contention from him losing, and Sami Zayn's entertaining.
He really is.
The way they're working with Roman and Sammy, it's almost reminiscent of something similar to like what Austin and Angle would have done.
Yes, that's exactly what it Sami Zayn is doing so well that Jim Cornette, who hated working with Zayn and Owens in Ring of Honor, sang his praises to high heavens on this past week's experience.
Here's the deal.
And Cornette don't like nothing.
For somebody who in January of this year, his contract was coming up, there was no talk of re-signing him. When they re-signed him, one, he had a banger match with Johnny Knoxville, a not-pro wrestler at Mania. He is now in the main level group of the Bloodline. And then you've got to add on top of that, he was in the main event of SmackDown against the #1 contender.
Who's going to go on to Clash the Castle against the highest rated champion in wrestling.
He signed a new contract. Now they're pushing Sami Zayn to the moon.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
I bet you we see an Intercontinental title run soon. It's going to come, baby.
It wouldn't surprise me. As a matter of fact, I could see the Usos losing the tag titles, Zayn winning the Intercontinental title, and Zayn turning it around on Jey Uso with the you need to level up.
Yeah.
You need to do this. You need to do that, and becoming Roman Reigns' right-hand man.
That's right.
I could see that very well taking place. Paul Heyman is off TV right now.
Yeah.
So they need that little bit of comic relief. And it gives Roman a different perspective to the fans to know that it gives levity to the Tribal Chief character. I don't care if my family likes Sami Zayn or not.
Yep.
I kind of enjoy him kind of thing, so he's going to be around.
He's very much playing the Paul Heyman role.
Yeah.
In the entertainment bracket.
Yeah.
It just occurred to me, Sami Zayn, Canadian, correct?
Yeah.
Honorary member of the Bloodline,
Uh-huh.
Samoan. So he's what, Smokadian?
He's Canadian.
There is an entire subsect of indigenous Canadians who are furious with you right now. And I'm not going to take the fall this time.
Well, here's the deal. They don't know what he looks like, so he's safe.
You're right. Because there haven't been at least 4 episodes so far where we featured his face.
Oh, yeah, that's right. If you want to go
We
back...
broke that guy.
You want to go back and see that?
You can check out our entire library of previous shows over at youtube.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown.
You can like those videos too.
You
That
should
would be
do that.
fantastic.
Do we have any other slides left for SmackDown before I get into the full recap? I thought we had a Sheamus one, but I don't remember.
No, I don't think we do.
Okay, well, either way, Sheamus cut a promo for his match with Gunther, which, if you're not excited about Sheamus and Gunther, you don't like pro wrestling.
100%.
You don't enjoy it, because those two, as we said last week, are going to beat the dog shit out of each other. This is going to be a match.
Time out. Look at John Wagner's post.
Homeless lumberjack bangs an Oompa Loompa?
That's what he thinks Sami Zayn is.
What?
Here's the deal.
You are proud working people.
Wow.
Can I have this one?
Go
I have
ahead.
this one? Okay. You are the last person that should be talking about somebody looking like anything. Okay? Let's be real here. I'm the mayor of the bedroom. I know what I'm talking about. Undisputed tribal chief. You leave Sami Zayn alone. Make me call you out in public like this, in front of God and everybody, while he drinks his beer. What's wrong with you? First you try to spoil stuff we're going to talk about in 20 minutes. Now you want to give Sami Zayn shit. Leave the man alone. Leave him alone.
Yeah, fucker.
Caleb, it's your family. Get it in line.
Barely. All right, let's get this show back on the road. If you're not excited about Sheamus and Gunther, you should be, because those two are going to beat the shit out of it.
100%.
I'm excited for that.
That is going to be an old school European catch-as-catch-can. So there are 2 separate types of catch-as-catch-can wrestling. One that has a very technical precedence, which we always saw in guys like Finlay and Regal.
Yep.
And then there's the World of Sports fight style.
Uh-huh.
That's what that match is going to be.
Absolutely.
2
It's gonna be
Europeans
hard-hitting.
beating the crap out of each other.
Stare off was.
Man.
Oh,
Well-
that whole the whole
sold it really well. The crowd was dead for some reason.
Well,
They weren't as into it as I
You have to
was.
keep
I
in
thought it
mind
was fantastic.
the way they protected Gunther's reign. They protected his gimmick. They protected the idea that he's a fucking hard-hitting animal. But they've done that for Sheamus for almost 17 years.
Well, and Sheamus in that promo pointed out, he's like,
not quite 17 years.
everybody that was
11
here
years.
isn't here anymore, and I've beaten them all.
Yeah.
Dropped
Yeah.
Triple H's name, dropped Michaels' name, dropped several people's names. It's like, everyone that they said couldn't be beat, I beat them.
And Sheamus is going to make Gunther
He
when
is.
we get to this weekend. So let's get to this weekend. We got some points to talk about, but before we get to that, we're going to talk about when worlds collide. NXT and NXT.
We don't have a slide for that.
Yes, we did.
Oh, we do?
Yeah. Oh, I thought I said one.
No, no.
Well, whatever. So Worlds Collide is going to be the first. We have Monday this week alone.
Yes.
We've got Monday Night Raw, NXT on Tuesday,
Yeah.
Dynamite on Wednesday, SmackDown and Rampage on Friday, as
Yep.
well as Worlds Collide.
Yep.
Saturday we've got Clash at the Castle.
Yep.
Sunday we have All Out,
Yep.
and we go right back into Monday Night Raw on Monday for the Labor Day special here at Pro Wrestling Throwdown. We have 8 glorious days of professional wrestling action. We had a week like this. What was it last year?
Yeah.
When they ran all the way through, because they ran all the way to Thursday
Yeah.
for almost, what was it, 9 days straight.
Yep.
With specials and pay-per-views. It's a good week to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah, 100%.
Worlds Collide is going to end NXT UK
Yes.
and combine it with NXT on Tuesday nights on USA Network.
USA Network. Yep.
And the first 2 matches and only announced matches on the docket. Now, these aren't for points. We don't include NXT pay-per-views.
No. No.
But we are getting the unification of the NXT and the NXT UK title and the NXT Women's and NXT UK Women's titles, which are going to be Braun Breaker, son of Scott Steiner,
Yep.
who is current NXT World Champion, against Tyler Bate, current reigning NXT UK Champion,
Also
first NXT
yeah.
UK Champion, and youngest WWE Champion in history. Both men right now are 23 and 24 at the top of their game.
In
Both
the prime.
world champions. Fuck yes. The other match will be the women's title match. It's going to be Mandy Rose, NXT UK Champion, head of Toxic Attraction, combining with Miko Satomura, who is one of the Joshi Championship Wrestling. What is the name of the company? Actually, that one, Shimmer,
Yeah.
who is one of Shimmer's all-time stars. Also, a quick bit of news here. We're going to be talking about intergender wrestling here in a bit. Shimmer just donated 30. Rob, thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for your
That's
donation.
30
brother.
entries going into the bucket. Thank you so much,
Yes,
man.
appreciate that, my man.
But Shimmer just got ranked number 2 promotion in all of Japan. That goes
Yep.
against AJPW and all the Pro Wrestling Noah, and it's the first time ever a women's wrestling company ever has been in any international bracket at number 2.
Yeah.
That's why AEW's working relationship with Shimmer is bringing over so many incredible Japanese wrestlers. But that's where Miko Satomura, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Hikaru Shida, Maki Ito, and there's one more
Sky.
on that list. No! Io Sky's Chinese. She never
that's right,
wrestled in
that's right,
Japan.
that's
She
right, that's
came
right.
from the Chinese proving school.
That's right.
But yeah, it's the number 2 promotion in the world in Japan right now.
Well, and speaking of
pretty big.
Miko, if you've been following NXT UK,
Yeah.
you know she is not only the women's champion, she's the longest reigning women's champion, and she's undefeated.
And
She is a legend.
You know the
when
thing
it
that
comes to
other
women's
people leave
wrestling.
out is that she's one of the oldest women on the roster.
Yeah, she
She's
is
not
the
a
oldest.
younger. She's not one of the young women in her 30s. She's in her 40s, and she can go every fucking bit.
Yeah.
I want her to get called up. I know that you're not supposed to pair. I want to see her wrestle Asuka, but I want to see that because I want to see rematches from their 2007 and 2008 matches in Shimmer. It's not just because they're both Asian. They have a legitimate history. If you don't know that, you should. And because you don't, you come to us, and that's why we tell you.
And that's why we love you.
Brrrah!
We use the love word.
Hey, before we get into the rest of the pay-per-view, let's share those socials.
All right, chill.
You can find us over at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. You can follow us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. You can send us an email at prowrestlingthrowdown@gmail.com. You can find us on TikTok at Pro Wrestling Throwdown 1. You can also check out streamlabs.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown and find our merch store where you can find cuts, you can find other stuff, and you can find a brand new Pro Wrestling Throwdown bikini featuring our faces on the top, my face on the bottom, the Pro Wrestling Throwdown logo, and various other places. Buy the bikini, wear it, model it. I'll take private screenings to make sure it fits correctly. Well, I shouldn't say that.
No, you
Actually,
can
you
say
know,
that.
fuck that. Yeah, that's exactly what. If you
You're
go out of your
all
way,
fine at
if
that.
you go out of your way to buy the bikini, absolutely, I will.
Here's the deal. You can also join Rob in donating money towards this month's prize, which is
a Pro Wrestling Throwdown coffee cup, and then you'll also get the autographed certificate of authenticity. It's going to have all 4 of our signatures here from the show, and as we've said before, we're not going to autograph the individual pieces.
No.
That's the thing we'll autograph so it doesn't hurt the value, and then you've got something where we can write, a genuine message for you. Every donation you make gets $1 for every dollar you donate. Gets 1 name in the bucket for every purchase you make. That's also 1 name, not the total value of your purchases. And then also, if you correct us live here on the show about wrestling information we may have gotten wrong, that also gets you an entry in the bucket.
got one last week.
John Wagner corrected me about a WrestleMania match, which is nuts, but shit happens. I drink.
Well, then he makes the Oompa Loompa statement.
You know what?
Kills all that.
One more Oompa Loompa crap, and we're taking the name away.
Everything cool you said.
All right, so let's get into
Clash at the Castle.
Clash at the Castle, and it's time to talk about the points race. We are almost to Survivor Series season, which means it's almost Royal Rumble season, which means it's basically WrestleMania season.
Survivor Series season. At least.
So if you haven't watched the show before, we run a contest from WrestleMania to WrestleMania every year where we have to call the appropriate number of matches between the 3 of us, Luke, the Big Dog Williams, myself, Caleb Black, and the Mighty Max Fury. If our in-studio editor, Big Bad John, outguesses all of us on predictions, then none of us get a point. So we are in the thick of it right now. I am currently in the lead at 43 points. Max is currently in second place at 38 points. And Luke, the Big Dog Williams, is currently in third place. No, sorry. Max is 39 points. Luke is currently in third place for 38 points.
Currently in third place with 38 points.
But that's all right, because Luke, I only hold this victory until Rumble season.
That's right, baby.
I understand that.
You know.
But right now, we have 2 full pay-per-views in the next 7 days that are going to determine who is leading us going to WrestleMania. We already talked about this before. Follow the socials. We will make correction predictions for both of the events up until bell time for each event. So there may be match changes on Raw that gets announced tomorrow for Worlds Collide. We'll make a vote then.
John, you can pick whatever you want, bro.
Hell yeah, dog. All right, so let's get right into... Actually, I don't have Clash at the Castle first. I have All Out first.
So go ahead and do Clash at the Castle first.
All right, right now there are only 5 matches announced.
Okay.
So, starting from the bottom, our current reigning and defending Intercontinental Champion Gunther will defend against Sheamus for the IC title. Max, what's your guess, sir?
I've been thinking about this because I did.
It's the only match on the card that I have tripped.
Don't drink, don't smoke.
But, it really comes down to what they're going to do with storyline.
Yeah.
What you got to try to base it off of. And
Max, I believe you're 1 save gone, right?
yes.
And then we both still have 2.
No, I have
No,
one
you used one.
as well.
All right, hold on. Hold on 1 second. I need to record that because this is a little thing to us. We finally closed 1 full notebook of notes from when we started. So this is a fresh new notebook. This is where we do all the show recording, so it's a big deal to us. But I've also got a ton of information stored in there, so I got to keep track. Luke, you have 1 save left. I've got both, and Max, you have 1.
Yes.
All right, Max, you said.
Yeah, I'm going to go Sheamus.
Are you going to use your save or no?
Can you use your last save this early in the game?
Well, if Sheamus wins, it doesn't cost him anything.
True.
It's a point either way.
I want to use my save. I feel like it's too early in the game to use
Good man.
it. Never know. I'm going to change that. I'm going to go Gunther.
You're going to say Gunther.
Yeah.
That's your final choice.
Yeah.
Final answer.
Yeah.
All
I know
right.
it's back and forth, but how can it not be?
Max says Gunther, Big Bad John.
James.
Big Bad John taking a risk, saying Sheamus.
He
Luke?
doesn't have any risk. There's no risk for him.
Man,
No, it's all risk for us.
as much as I want to say Sheamus, because I would love that, it's points race. I gotta go Gunther.
I'm saying Gunther as well.
I have
There
to.
is no damn
I
way
don't
they
want
take that
to.
belt off of him
I
yet.
want it to be Sheamus, but
Yeah.
I kind of think it might be too early
Yeah.
to take it off Gunther.
All right.
I would love for it to stay on him anyway.
In the 6 women tag team match, we have Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka taking on Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
I know Bailey just got back. I know she's got a faction behind her. But Bianca is current champion for Raw, for the women. So I'm going with Bianca's team. Because if they want to make Bianca the number one contender, she's still got to have some heat as champion.
Right on.
So that's my guess. Luke?
See, here's the deal. We need somebody to wrestle Bianca as the number one contender. I'm going Bailey's kids.
Okay. Big Bad John.
I'm gonna go with Bianca.
Smart man. Max.
I think a cheap win with Bailey would set her up for a title.
I don't disagree.
I'm with Luke. I gotta go with Bailey's kids. Hashtag Bailey's kids.
Yeah, hashtag.
You know,
Not
that one's
much
split
difference
right down the
going.
middle.
Yeah.
You know what I think that calls for?
What's up?
A gentleman's bet.
All right.
There are no gentlemen here.
Yeah, well, I got a gentleman's bet. What are you saying?
If this is a good one. If Bianca, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka win, Max and Luke, you have to kiss on camera. And if Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky win, Big Bad John and I will kiss on camera. You're betting $1?
It's a gentleman's bet. There has to be $1.
All right, fine. Both of that and $1.
I'm game.
Fucking game. Max, do you agree?
I'll agree.
Big Bad John?
Yep.
All right. It just became a party.
So are we going back to HLA? Is how this is going?
All right.
That's right. I said it.
For the Raw Women's Championship, we have Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler. Max, I'm going to let you start this off.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us how you feel about Liv Morgan
Tell us how you feel about Liv Morgan, Max.
again?
I hate Liv. No, I don't hate Liv Morgan, but she is not deserving of where the status that they put her at by any means at all. However, they're doing all this stupid shit with her.
Put that in the bucket.
But I'm gonna go
I'll throw it
with
in
Liv
too.
Morgan because I think they're really dumb and they're pushing her wrong. But I'm gonna go with Liv Morgan.
One
So
second.
you're going Liv Morgan.
All right. Max says Liv Morgan against his better wishes. I'm going to agree. I'm saying Liv Morgan retains.
I'm also saying Liv Morgan retains.
Big Bad John?
Same.
All right. Unanimous decision with Liv Morgan.
Yep. Too soon. Too soon to get rid of the title from Liv Morgan.
For everyone.
I can.
But
All right, fine. I guess the winners get $2. In one of the most anticipated matches and one of the hardest ones to determine, we've got Riddle versus Seth Rollins.
here's the deal. You want me to go first? I'll go first.
Yeah, why don't you kick it off?
Here's the deal with this match. No one is going to lose out anything by becoming the loser in this match.
No, the fans are going to win.
However, the bigger push for this match would be for Riddle to beat Rollins.
Agreed.
Due to all the things that Rollins has done, everyone wants to see him get his comeuppance. What better way than to have Riddle beat him on pay-per-view? I'm going Riddle.
Okay, Luke says Riddle.
Wolfie is also with me with Riddle.
Big Bad John, Riddle or Seth Rollins?
Rollins.
Ooh! Max?
I gotta go with my bro.
Gonna go with Riddle. Well, I'm going with Rollins.
Good
So
for
we're
you.
divided down the road again.
Probably going to be divided in the next match as well.
And in our main event, we have Drew McIntyre, current reigning #1 contender, former two-time WWE champion and Royal Rumble winner,
Against Sami Zayn's right-hand man.
against the head of the bloodline, multiple-time world champion, former Royal Rumble winner, Roman Reigns, also current reigning and defending undefeated world heavyweight and universal champion of the WWE, Max. Who is Big Bad John's first pick? See what I did there? Oh! Big Bad John, who you saying?
It's going to be a banger.
Big Bad John says McIntyre. Max. What's Luke's pick?
Would Luke be crazy enough? Yes, Luke would be crazy enough. I'm going to say McIntyre,
Okay.
and I'm putting my save on it.
Your last save of the season. I still have two left.
I don't think I'm going to use the save. I think McIntyre's
Okay.
going to take the belts, but I'm going to use the save just for the point.
Max. What's my pick? How did you not see that coming? Man.
Ray Charles could have seen that coming. He wasn't,
Fuck.
dead.
Hometown boy. First pay-per-view in the UK since what? SummerSlam?
Somebody homegrown has to win a title, and it ain't going to be Sheamus.
I'm gonna say McIntyre.
Also, if McIntyre wins, he'll be the first ever person to win a WWE championship away from the States.
And
on
I'm
pay-per-view.
also using my first save of the season.
You are.
All right. I said it. Max.
Who's Max going to
I was actually going to say, Coletta, who do you think's going to win? Max, what do you got?
I honestly don't think they should take the belt off Roman yet.
Agreed.
I really, really don't.
But think about this. We got
Clash of
Survivor
the
Series
Castle,
coming up.
It's everything in the works there. It kind of makes sense. And
You could also
they
take the
gotta
belt
go-
off of him now and then put the belt back on him at Survivor Series.
Well, and
gotta
it
go
doesn't
back
have to be
that.
for both belts.
Right.
They can still...
Wolfie,
All right.
Wolfie is also going Drew McIntyre. Max,
So-
where you going? You going Drew?
Get back to that.
So McIntyre unanimous for Clash at the Castle. Let me finish pouring my drink here. Don't drink, don't smoke. Unless you're fucking rad like me.
Why do people do drugs?
That
Because
moves
it's
good.
cool.
All right. To do a quick recap here, Clash at the Castle. Big Bad John, you chose Sheamus for the Intercontinental title, while Max, Luke, and I chose Gunther.
That could be the win for John.
We are divided between Riddle and Rollins with the gentleman's bet on the line. No, I'm sorry. That's incorrect. The gentleman's bet is for the women's tag match.
Yes.
I need to make a point of that because that's the one we want to give the payoff
Yeah.
for. Either way, we're still divided. Luke and Max, you've both chosen Riddle. Big Bad John and I have gone Seth Rollins. For the gentleman's bet, in which the losers will kiss each other, because I'm an idiot, I guess. Bianca...
I want everyone to remember this was his thing.
It is my thing. Bianca, Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka have been chosen by myself and Big Bad John. Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky, affectionately known here at Pro Wrestling Throwdown as Bailey's Kids.
Bailey's Kids.
By the way, that's the playoff of Bebe's Kids. If you don't know
Yeah.
it, watch it. It's one of the best animated movies ever.
Hashtag Bailey's Kid.
Bailey's Kids have been chosen by Luke and Max. Liv Morgan is a unanimous decision by all parties for
Not
the
that we're
for
happy
retaining the
about
Women's
it.
Championship, and a unanimous decision again with McIntyre, with both Luke and I. You did not use your last save, no?
No.
Okay, with both Luke and I putting a save on the line. So if Roman wins, you got no more saves, and I only got one left. All right. That's where we're at, kids. That's Clash at the Castle. What's going on out there? Somebody in my house?
Sami Zayn's here. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We don't own those rights.
I don't know who
Something.
you are, but I don't think what you think you want to do is what you really want to do.
Breaking down the street. Like,
Well, at least
Yeah,
it
they're
wasn't.
probably
At
a rub.
least it wasn't a kid in the shopping cart like it was last week.
Jeez. There's so many distractions. There
There really is.
All right, now it's time to talk about All Out. Pull that graphic up.
Yeah.
who's distracted?
Now, this is the big one. We got a lot more matches going on. There are a lot more stakes. We're in Chicago, September 4th. I always want to make this trip for my birthday. For 4 years, we've tried. For 4 years, we failed. Maybe next year, it's going to be the year. But we'll be watching it over here anyway on Monday before we do the special Labor Day cut-in for Pro Wrestling Throwdown on Monday, September the 5th. Hold on one second,
We didn't freeze.
because something is happening here.
You never know what you're going to get on Pro Wrestling Throwdown.
Okay, look,
Go ahead and look at the comments.
look.
One-
Tune in
Yeah,
here,
what's
because
going
I have
on?
no clue what's about to happen.
Maybe it's Dalton Diamond coming jumping.
Hold on here. Hi there. How may I help you? Okay.
While we're waiting, we'll push the socials. You can find us at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. You can also reach us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. You can join us on TikTok every week for which is Pro Wrestling Throwdown 1.
Don't forget the Etsy.
vent for a second, guys.
Oh, yeah. Also, we have a merch store that you can get to, which is Thank you. Streamlabs.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown, where for every dollar you donate, every dollar you spend, it's one entry into the bucket for this month's prize, which is a Pro Wrestling Throwdown coffee cup. You will also get a certificate of authenticity, which is signed personally to you. Also, don't forget that we now have a woman's bikini set with faces and places.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a woman's.
No, I mean, if you're a dude and you want to rock a bikini, you can do that. There, no shame here. Also, if you do decide to make a donation, please put your name so we know, of course, whose money goes with who. We can put that into the bucket. October, we're also going to do a same drawing for October's prize, which will be a personalized message, whether it be whether you want it on Facebook, whether you want it here on YouTube, anything that you want. We will personalize a ringtone. If you want MP3 made, that's fine as well, which will be the October's prize. And we can even get Caleb to cry because he's going to lose.
It's not that hard, really.
He's going to lose the WrestleMania points race. He thinks he's ahead because he's in the lead. He's wrong. He's always wrong. You'll learn this. The more you watch this show, you'll get that he's always wrong.
Yeah.
Always.
Bubby, go ahead and check the comments.
Let's see what the comments say here. When it comes to a gentleman's bet, it will be recorded for the rest of social media sites as well. That is also true. That will take place.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you again for joining us on Sundays. All of your input, all of your questions, all of your donations, they all don't go into our pocket. The donations, they go towards betterment of the show. Be sure to like. Likes get us into the YouTube algorithm. It brings in viewers. Also, don't forget, if you like what you see here, please share with your friends. Let's get as many subscribers as we can.
Share
The more subscribers...
Share with your wrestling your friends. Share with your friends that aren't wrestling friends, because they might have wrestling friends. So just share with everybody.
Yeah, share with as many people as you can. The more we build the thing, the more YouTube allows us to be able to do, which means the more content and the more intricate content and unique content we can bring to you. If you have a segment, a story you want to talk about, anything like that, discussion points, be sure to either send us an email, put it in the comments on Facebook, whatever you feel you need to do.
Birthday.
Sorry about that, everybody.
You got somebody that's got birthday coming up.
And what we talked about while he was gone, that's just between us.
Hey, I told you those pictures. I needed the money.
I said nothing about pictures.
They were pretty good pictures.
I didn't need the money. All right, let's get back to work, shall
That's
we?
part of my Sundays. Well, I appreciate that, Wolfie. Let's stick with the all that. It's all that. It's just all that. We don't on the right side either.
No, we don't. We don't on the bites of jack shit. All right, so it's time to talk about AEW All Out.
Yes.
Recap, pay-per-view, Chicago. It's going to be great. So right now, we don't know if there's going to be a world title match. That's one of the matches that's missing off the card, and possibly we also don't know who is going to be in the semi-final match at the end of the tournament. We know the teams standing are the Aussie Open, the Dark Order, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and one other team whose name
Best Friends.
The Best Friends. So those will get determined via Wednesday night on Dynamite and Friday night on Rampage. But we
It doesn't matter. I can make a pick for that right now
yeah,
without knowing the
gonna be
teams.
Kenny Omega in the Bucks.
It's going to be the best.
Just for posterity's sake,
Yeah.
we'll wait.
For points.
So let's talk about all the other matches on the card that have been announced. 6-man tag team action.
All right.
We have the TNT champion Wardlow and
Okay.
the current reigning and defending AAA, NJPW, and Ring of Honor tag team champions FTR taking on Ring of Honor TV champ. No, Jay Lethal lost that title to Smoke.
Yes.
Did not.
Yes.
But so former Ring of Honor TV champion Jay Lethal and
Formerly known as Black Machismo.
coming to All Elite Wrestling for the first time, the team of Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, the Motor City Machine Guns, in 6-man tag team action. It's going to be...
Well, here's the deal with that, if I can stray away for a second.
Please do.
You know that there's been a lot of people walking out of Impact with contracts and stuff like that. is this a test of the water for the Motor City Machine Guns to maybe jump ship to AEW?
I mean, we're going to have the Young Bucks. We're going to have Zero Gravity. We're going to have the Motor City Machine Guns, and we're going to have the Hardys. 4 generations of the last 20 years. High-flying professional wrestlers.
Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy.
I'm just talking about the guys
Oh,
that
just
emphasize
yeah.
that Daredevil style. Those are the 4 most notable teams. Well,
Well, I mean, for the time being.
stop it. I don't want it. All right, who's
Unless
going
they,
to
have
win
to
this
drive,
match?
unless they have to drive from building to
I'm going to start this one. I'm going to say that it's going to be the Pinnacle taking the win. It's going to be Wardlow and FTR. Fight me about it.
I'm not going to fight you about it because that's obvious.
Good man, Max.
Yeah, I've got to go FTR and Wardlow.
Yes.
Big man John.
Same.
Good man.
There's no going against
Don't
one of
drink,
the
don't smoke.
greatest, most decorated tag teams in professional wrestling at this point. You
Who
don't
have
go against
only
FTR.
been a tag team for 8 years and who met each other in developmental and were paired together because of their values in wrestling, and who are now, after the last 8 years, the top tag team in
and
the
their
fucking world.
and their third member of this team is Warburg. So I mean, there you go. Hashtag Warburg.
Hashtag Warburg. I like it. All right. In the Fatal 4-Way, Women's AEW Interim Championship match,
Don't drink, no smoke.
Toni Storm wrestles Britt Baker, wrestles Jamie Hayter, wrestles Hikaru Shida. It's worth noting that Hikaru Shida and Britt Baker are both former AEW Women's Champions, that Toni Storm is very close to Thunder Rosa, and Thunder Rosa wished her well in the match, and that Jamie Hayter is the right hand to Britt Baker. So there's a lot of history in this match, a lot of drama. I'm starting off. You don't bet against Britt Baker DMD in a high-intensity situation. Britt Baker all day. Says hi.
Maximus, who you got?
No, Max?
I'll go with you there, Caleb. Doctor.
The doctor is about to operate.
John?
Big bet, John.
I'll go the same.
Good man. Luke?
You would expect me to say Britt Baker, but I will not.
Okay. Who you calling?
I think the push for the championship, honestly, it's better to have the heel chase it in this particular point. Toni Storm.
You think Toni Storm, really?
They've been pushing her. She's been on the cover of magazines. She's been on the AEW with RJ City.
Yeah.
She's very over right now. Her OnlyFans is killing it, from what I understand.
Yeah.
What do you have to lose? I'm going with Toni Storm.
Not a bad pick. We've also got the Casino Ladder match. None of the competitors have been named, so that's another one we're going to have to take a pick with. Even though most of us can take an educated guess and say it might be Adam Page. Or it might be a brand new signee that they in the past have done. But really, in the concept of free agency, who do they got? Gargano re-signed. Bray Wyatt's getting close to re-signing, unless they can Rook and Okada.
Maybe.
Huh?
He did say he was stepping away on paternity leave, though, so I don't think that's going
Yeah,
to
but
take.
Triple H really wants Okada.
Would you like me to tell you who I think's going to win that?
Sure, just for conversation's sake, we're not making our real picks. We'll do that on Facebook.
Whoever the Joker card is.
Okay. All right. In a sports entertainer versus professional wrestler match, we have the best in the world, Bryan Danielson, versus the best ever and the wizard, Chris Jericho.
Huh.
That
Now,
one's
here's the
tough.
deal. If there is no AEW title match that is announced for All Out, which would be a mistake, but if there's not one, that's your main event.
That's your main event. I agree.
I'm going to go with the build for... I'm going to say Jericho because I think that the Daniel Garcia thing's a swerve.
Okay.
I think he'll come out, Brian Danielson will think he's on his side, and he'll screw Brian.
See, I think that with the success of the Blackpool Combat Club, with Danielson, with Moxley being champion, with Claudio being champion, and with Wheeler Yuta being a champion, I think that Danielson's going to pick up the win. However, I do also believe that the Daniel Garcia thing is a swerve as well and will come out after the fact. But I'm saying Danielson. Max. Shit, I fucked that up. I wrote mine instead of yours.
I think I'm gonna go with Jericho.
All right. Big Bad John?
I am also going to go with Jericho.
Oh, man, I'm the odd man out.
Yep.
That doesn't happen a lot. However, if I win, you suckers suck. I'm just saying, when I win.
Yes, that's more.
All right, for the AEW Tag Team Championships in a match that's shaping up to be pretty good.
Well, hold on. Coletta points out a good point in the chat there. Does that mean we need to start looking at OnlyFans for research? Can we call? Is that a tax write-off if we say it's research for a show?
They are professional wrestlers.
Technically, as a business expense,
Yes.
it is a tax write-off.
All right, OnlyFans. Here we go.
Use it for promotional avenues. Not that I know, because I definitely
Should we post you and Johnny's kiss on OnlyFans?
don't
Welcome
have
to our
one.
Services.
Should we post that kiss on OnlyFans? I mean, you know, you're going to be on there, so you have to give the consent.
I'll tell you what. If you manage to beat me by at least 2 points, all told, between both pay-per-views, and Johnny consents, I'll post it to my OnlyFans.
That's old news.
Anyway,
News, kids! Dude! You're all learning so much! All right, Swerve and Glory, god damn it.
You know, for only $29.99,
No,
you can also get the just the link. I mean, they'll have to subscribe, but you can get the link.
Yeah.
Is there a friends and family discount?
Swerve and Our Glory,
Uh-huh.
current reigning AEW Tag Team Champions, with the team of Keith Lee and Scott Swerve,
Yep.
will be defending the titles against the Acclaim in a match that is going to be pretty damn good.
That's going to be interesting.
I'm going to say champions retain. I don't see them putting the belts. The Acclaimed are in such a good spot to be a tag team
builder team.
that builder team for now, but I'm saying Swerve and Our Glory.
I'm going to go ahead and give my pick as well.
Okay?
And I'm going to go with Swerve and Our Glory, but I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah, please do.
With Colton and Austin Gunn turning on Billy, and Billy now being with the Acclaimed, I see the Gun
The
Club
Gun Club getting involved.
screwing the Acclaimed out of the tag.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
Max, you go with the young hot rappers, or are you going to go with the established tag team right now?
well, I'm with you fellas.
All right, Max says Swerve and Our Glory. Big Bad John.
I'm the same.
All right, that's unanimous. Ricky Starks, former member of Team Taz, is going to take on Big Will Hobbs.
Powerhouse
Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah.
In a singles match that has been building on their TV for quite some time.
Here's the deal with that. If you ask, I'm just going to put this out there. Starks and Hobbs is probably one of the most interesting matches on the card for me.
I don't know. I didn't care for that movie a whole lot.
That's Starsky and Hutch.
He's talking about.
Am I right?
He's talking
Am
about
I right? Was that what you meant?
Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs? Oh, damn it! I thought, man.
Which goes back to the Tribal Chief, who's at 730 days.
All right, Starks and Hobbs. I'm saying Ricky Starks. This is going to be his moment to get some shine on him, get maybe into the TNT title picture. I'm saying Starks.
I'm going to say the exact same thing, except I'm going Hobbs.
That's not the same thing.
Yeah, the TNT title thing. I think it'll do it for.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Ooh, Hobbs and Wardlow for the TNT
Yeah.
title. Two big meaty men slapping meat.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
Two men who aren't wearing pants fighting for a belt.
shameless plug, Eric Stevens came out of retirement and wrestled for Black Label Pro. Hi, Eric.
Nice.
Love you, buddy. Max, Starks or Hobbs? Ricky Starks.
Iron Man or not? Like,
Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks.
Hey, no badgering the witness.
Well, that's leading the witness.
Whatever.
I know the
Don't
difference.
badger the witness either.
Big Bad John, Starks, or Hobbs?
I'm gonna tell Hobbs you said that.
Don't you tell him a damn thing.
I'm gonna go with Hobbs.
Damn it. All right, odd man out again. I see how it is.
You could really either win big on this pay-per-view or lose
lose
like,
by-
yeah.
Just those 2
Which
points
is-
right there.
That's actually what happened last time, and I'm the one who watches AEW the most religiously.
You know what's messed up?
What's that?
You could be the Happy Corbin of this group. You could go come on top.
Right, yeah. All right, Jade Cargill, undefeated for a year and a half as TNT champion, will defend against Athena, formerly Ember Moon from NXT, in a match that is sure to be damn good. I am saying unequivocally it's going to be Jade Cargill because there was no reason to pull the belt off. Also, I said Jane because Cornette, that's what he calls her. It's Jade. My apologies. Jade Cargill. She is the fucking Lex Luger transitioning into the Goldberg of the AEW right
She really is. And here's the deal. She has a good look.
Yeah.
She's athletic as can possibly be.
She doesn't have a good look. She has the best look.
She carries the championship like a championship should be carried.
And she gets better. She started out green as goose shit. We covered that all last season. Watch one of her matches now.
You also have to cover the fact that she has the Cargo Girls or whatever, the Jade Club.
Oh, the Baddies Club.
The Baddies Club.
Yeah.
Jade. All
Jade
day.
Cargill.
All day.
Max?
I'm what she knows.
Big Bad John. It's... I know that the comparison to Luger doesn't always work for everybody if you look at the
It does
context
for her.
of WCW. But for her, Luger started out as a body guy and a bodybuilder, came into the business, learned the business
Was
as
a
he
football
went,
player as well.
and ended up being one of the top WCW draws ever after he defeated Hogan. It's the same fucking
He
concept.
was a Chicago Bear.
Yeah, in this comparison, she is absolutely incredible, and she's
The total
what,
package.
32.
She's
So
the total
she's
package.
not. Yeah, she
100%.
started in the business late in life.
It's over to WWE, right? You have to almost kind of say the same thing about Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Like, once she tightens the screws.
Yeah,
and
big time.
Yep.
All right, and in the last match that we know about, this one's going to be tough.
It is.
Jungle Boy versus Christian. Christian turned on Jungle Boy, went heel. Jungle Boy went off for a bit. He's back. The dinosaur's confused, which is just a general thing because he's awful. Ooh, I think of it too much because I don't want to talk about Luchasaurus. I don't want to think. Or do I?
Do we want to talk about what Bill DeMott thinks of it? So we can do that.
The dude's 7 feet fucking tall. Stop doing whip kicks. Do a big boot. I promise you it will look better. Because you're so tall, your legs don't look as good doing it. Tajiri's whip kicks look good because he wasn't over fucking 6 feet tall. You're 7 feet tall. Throw your foot out and take the dude's head off. That's all you got to do. Simple as shit. And I can say that because literally every big man who ever made money in the wrestling business did the same goddamn thing.
You know what they should do? They should bring Luchasaurus over to WWE and make a tag team out of him and Damian Priest.
See, they tried to do that, but Luchasaurus couldn't hack it.
They're also the same guy.
Oh,
so
Well, when he would fit perfectly with Damian Priest.
You! The Puerto Rican prince. How
yeah,
dare
you watch your mouth about Mama Boom Day or
How
what.
dare you? Listen to me, you Eskimo.
I can't think of the name of the crazy lady gimmick on the internet. One that looks like this. You know what I'm talking about? That they hid in kids' YouTube videos and she was supposed to be a curse and this, that, and the other. When they put that bar in Damian Priest's mouth on, hold on, I'll look it up.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't. This is the only YouTube I do.
Hold on.
However, I am on TikTok.
Woman.
And OnlyFans.
Are we derailing our entire
Yeah.
show right now for this? All
Yes,
right,
we are.
You didn't do it earlier?
I do what I want. Fuck Johnny Gargano.
Where is it?
Coming to my house being 4 feet fucking tall. How dare you?
Why are you trying to sing me out?
By the way, we're almost 2 hours into this, and we still haven't even gotten to birthdays and bullshit.
No, we have not.
However,
It's
this
fantastic.
episode has been a lot of fun.
They said that it was this cursed image, and really
Don't drink,
it was
don't
a head model for some kind of art thing that they were hiding in little kids' shows on YouTube that would pop up and scare kids.
That's traumatic.
Yeah, well, it looks like Damian Priest with that bar in his mouth. I'm not even 100%.
All right, let's close out this segment.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Jungle Boy or Christian? I'm saying Christian. And here's why. If he beats Jungle Boy, he gets big heel heat. But if we don't have a resolution on the world title match, that leaves Christian as a viable contender for #1 contender.
Momo.
against Moxley.
Momo.
I don't know what the fuck that means. It's got juice. That's a corn.
Momo.
I don't. No clue.
It looks just like Damian.
Okay, great.
Anyway,
I'm saying Christian.
Go ahead.
I don't know Christian too.
Big Bad John.
Christian.
Luke.
Here's the deal. We covered a lot on last week's show about toning down the blood, and we talked about the family stuff, about bringing up dead wrestlers,
Why it
to
matters if you get the win.
forward
blah, blah,
storylines. Here's the deal. It's your feel-good moment of the show.
blah.
Jungle Boy.
Okay.
It's the feel-good moment of the show to have him beat Christian Cage after everything he said about his dad and his mother, or Brian Pillman's mother. It's
Or it
Ultimate
solidifies
Fill-In
him as the top heel in the company at MJF's absence.
I'm still
No,
gonna,
I fully
I'm gonna
support
go
it.
Jungle Boy, and I think honestly we might see the
Return of MJF.
we might
Which is what
see
we
Jungle Boy win by disqualification when Luchasaurus goes with Christian.
Which would also work for all parties involved. All right, real quick, we'll do the recap here.
All right.
Wardlow and FTR versus Guns and Lethal. We are unanimous. Storm, Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Sheeta for the interim women's championship. Baker is a vote between Caleb, Max, and Big Bad John. Luke, the odd man out on Tony Storm.
Yes.
Casino ladder match, still TBD. Danielson and Jericho. Jericho is a selection by Max, Luke, and Big Bad John. I chose Brian Danielson. Swerve in Our Glory against the Acclaimed. Unanimous decision again with Swerve in Our Glory. Jungle Boy versus Christian is going to be myself, Max, and Big Bad John. Luke, the odd man out with Jungle Boy. The rest of us going with Christian. Starks and Hobbs is, I'm the only one going with Starks. Hobbs is the selection for the rest of the team here. And Jade Cargill is a unanimous decision. So, again, if they announce more matches, you guys will get more. But there we are.
That's it.
We are 2 pay-per-views deep. We are points away from deciding who the number 1 guy in the WrestleMania race is going to be next week.
If there is an announcement about a match that has not been made right now, it will have to be made point-wise by us on Facebook before the show starts.
Yep. Guys, if you're watching the stream right now, please don't forget to like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Check us out over at facebook.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. Follow us on Twitter at ProWrestlingTD. Send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. You can follow us on TikTok at ProWrestlingThrowdown1. You can also check out Streamlabs.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown, where you can access our merch store. Over there, you guys will find coffee cups. You'll find various other odds and ends. We've got a lot of stuff. You can check out the site.
If you're got a kid and back to school, we've got backpacks, we've got notebooks, we've got all kinds of different things.
We've also
T-shirts.
We've just rolled out the Pro Wrestling Throwdown bikini with our faces on your own vegetables.
Rep your boys.
Please do. And also, if you donate to the site, every donation, every dollar you donate goes into a drawing. If you buy something, that's another name of the drawing. And if you correct us on the show from now on wrestling information, that's another drawing as well. This month we are doing a drawing for a coffee cup, and then the certificate of authenticity that we will all autograph for you. And check out some of the other hot sellers right now are our magnets, they're fridge magnets, but they're really cool. Every single dollar that you guys donate goes into the show here. We don't take a cent of that for like anything at all other than to get better equipment. We want to get better mics. We want to get some new graphics programs so we can unroll our new intro and shit we're trying to do.
We want to be able to bait wrestlers with paydays to come onto our show to field questions from you guys. I mean, it's all a build to come back to being profitable for you.
All roads lead back to Pro Wrestling Throwdown.
Right.
All right. Well, we've covered everything.
Real quick, I want to thank everybody that's still hanging with us. I know it's been a really, really long show, but we're going to have some really cool conversations at the end. So stay with us.
This may, in fact, end up being our longest show ever because I bet we're still going to be on for another hour or so. So thank you for tucking in. Thank you for hanging out. And don't forget, we are not live next Sunday. We are live Monday, September 5th, a Labor Day special because we've all got the day off. It's also a member of the team's birthday, so there's going to be some celebration and some shenanigans that go on. We'll reveal who that is if you don't already know next week. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Watch for updates on time on Facebook.
And please, if you're not following the Facebook, you won't know when we go live because that's actually a conversation we have to have after the show today.
Actually, if you are following or if you aren't following on Facebook, there is a bell that you can click for notification for YouTube when we go live.
Exactly. So,
there's no reason for you not to be there.
With all of this shamelessness out of the way, I believe it's that time, Luke.
Is it that time?
It is that time for everyone's favorite segment.
Ooh,
It's time
I'm
for
excited.
birthdays
And bullshit.
Max, take it away.
We'll beat you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You won the last 2 weeks.
I have.
Birthday.
Let's see about that.
We got short list of wrestling birthdays, fair list of celebrity birthdays.
shirtless
Let's
list?
Jump right into it.
Shirtless.
With
Check out my old events, bro.
Jeff Hardy.
So I guess this.
Well, you see, the bottom one's clean, Jeff.
Stop.
And the top one, he looks kind of drunk.
Well, okay, but I always look kind of drunk.
Well, look at his face. It's all pale.
Hey, shut up.
I meant Jeff.
No, I'm sorry, her.
Oh.
Jeff Hardy, still in his 40s, a little younger than Matt. I'm going to say 44.
I'm going to go 43.
Jeff Hardy on the 31st will be 45 years old.
Damn.
He's still old enough to know better.
Still too young to care.
What, Caleb?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately. Do I have to give it to him?
Yes, you do. God damn it.
All right, all right, all right.
Ooh.
Take your pick. We got Mickie James, Ember Moon.
Ember Moon, who is
Suddenly
currently
starting-
wrestling as Athena in AEW and is the #1 contender for the TBS Championship. this
Suddenly,
Sunday
I
and all
have
that.
a hankering for an Oreo. I'm hungry. Leave me alone. Oh, I see what you're doing there. Yeah, no, I didn't mean it by that. Anyway,
Or did you?
Fucking hate you. Ember Moon is 33 years old.
Ember Moon's 35 years old.
Ember Moon will be 34 years old.
You started like
Sounds
this last week.
Well, that's all right. I'm still living right now.
Mickie James is as old as she wants to be.
Remember that these are coming up birthdays.
Mickie James, 47.
I'm going to go 46.
You guys are assholes. Mickie
You're too old?
James will be 43
43.
years old. No
Well,
point.
keep in mind, she debuted in 2004, 2005 against Trish Stratus, so she's been in the game for a hot minute. Which, if
Yeah,
that's
she
the
has.
case, she's been in the business, 18 years, not mentioning developmental, so when she broke in, she would have been 22, 23. Good for her.
Well, next, on September 1st, we will remember Bam Bam Bigelow talking about big guys.
The most fluid big man wrestling for his size and stature in wrestling ever.
Was the first big man to go to the top rope for a moonsault that captured the hearts and headbutt,
Yeah.
captured the hearts and imaginations of big men everywhere. Also, he branched out into Hollywood.
Became an
Yeah.
action figure.
He was an action. It was numerous action figures actually. That one doesn't do it.
Was in
justice,
Major
really.
Pain.
Yep.
Was former ECW World Champion, responsible for numerous moments
Television,
in
ECW
television.
television.
Television champion.
Yes.
Responsible for one of the greatest moments in ECW ever, where Taz put him in the sleeper hold and they went through the stage together. Also received the seal of approval as a big man from Vader and Stan Hansen in Japan. Was a road buddy of Kevin Nash and Scott Hall for many of years. Wrestled in every single major wrestling promotion, including the now defunct interim promotion that happened between NJPW and AJPW before God damn you. Stop. I thought you were checking your watch.
No, I'm good.
Anyway, Bam Bam Bigelow, world renowned.
Hold on, but you missed his #1 accolade in professional wrestling. He was the very first person to ever main event WrestleMania that wasn't for a title. He wrestled Lawrence Taylor at WrestleMania 11. Was also the first person to wrestle somebody in the main event of WrestleMania, and still is, that isn't a professional wrestler.
That's true.
He wrestled a football player at the main event of WrestleMania 11 in Lawrence Taylor.
Look it up, kids.
Lawrence Taylor, there has never been a main event of WrestleMania before or since then that has had one of the two or however many combatants not be a professional wrestler.
Yep. We miss you, and the
Yes.
age of the big man misses you inherently.
Tremendously, and you know
Johnny
who else?
Gargano and
You
John
know who else misses you? Glenn Gilberti's face misses him.
Could you imagine if Glenn Gilberti would have said to Bam Bam Bigelow, "You need to lose weight"?
He would have got out. You need to- That's how that would have worked.
Bigelow would have beat the brakes off him. Yes, we already corrected that, John. Go fuck yourself. You don't get another entry.
Nope.
Anyway, all right. Now, moving on. Also on the 1st, we had Sam Snuka.
And Sammy Callahan, who
Yeah.
is currently was a member of the Switchblades with John Moxley, and they just reunited their tag team.
Yep.
Callahan, 36.
I'm going to go 34.
Good call, Luke. He will be 35 years old.
Nice. Sam Snuka, he was also
Member of Legacy.
was
Or, I'm sorry, no. He was
he
Deuce
was
and Domino.
Deuce and Domino. Yes, thank you very much.
He was talked about being the third in, or
But
the
then
fourth
they
in
went,
Legacy.
they went with the other Alpha Kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he was only on TV for what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, they got rid of that real fast. He's older than you say.
45.
I'm gonna say 46.
Good call again. He will be 51 years old. Point, Luke.
I knew he was older than he looks.
Yeah. What are we at right now?
We're tied at
2 and 2
apiece,
okay.
and that is the end of wrestling birthdays. But we do have one more to remember.
All right.
On September 2nd,
Tracy Smothers,
Uncle Tracy.
the wild-eyed Southern man. For any indie wrestler who's ever had the opportunity to work with Tracy, he's incredible. One of the very last, legitimately, genuinely, the last journeyman wrestler at the tail end of the territories. He came into the business right before the AWA, the WWA, the AWA, WWA, WWE, and what was Eastern Championship Wrestling were the last thriving territories, with the exception of the 2 remaining Georgia territories that became WCW. He was literally the last territory journeyman who spent his lifetime on the indies and doesn't get the accolades he deserved because he is every single bit. If he'd have been born 10 years earlier, we would be talking about him as NWA World Champion.
Here's the deal.
Multiple times
Here's
over.
the deal with Uncle Tracy. I shared a locker room with Uncle Tracy 3 times. 3 times in my entire career. And each of those 3 times, he had 2 requests. One, if you had a question or
Ass.
anything like that, he wasn't one of those guys that brushed you off. He was one of those guys that wanted to share the business and bring up the young guys.
He also-
2, he needed a television.
So
and
he
a
could
hookup
watch
so he
every
could
single
watch it
match.
as it happened.
And not only would he watch, a lot of guys will just approach you and tell you what you did wrong or talk to you about your match. He would come up and ask you if, hey, can we talk about what you guys did? I like this. I didn't like this. Maybe you should do that. Would also work with, would literally talk to every single heel on the card. What first priority? He would talk to every single heel when you were booked with them about what they were doing to get heat and make sure that everything every other heel did was special.
Yep.
He made every show fucking count. He also went to every single fan signing, especially for the Smoky Mountain Legend shows. He would go to every single one. He had one of the longest queues. Never turned away a fan. Cornette talked about a time where they did something for Smoky Mountain after they closed. They did like a 5-year show. The show started at like 5 with the pre-bell and everything. They got done at 9. He was still signing autographs at 11 o'clock when they were closing down the ring. And he was working with the crew, tearing down the ring and signing autographs. Was just, y'all don't even fucking know
you really
the
don't.
wealth of knowledge that Tracy Smothers had and the appreciation and love he had for the
It's
business.
actually pretty crazy that it's been 2 years. It was one of our first pro wrestling throwdowns that we had.
Yeah,
was when
it was
Tracy
when he passed away.
Yeah.
I told that story. I'll tell it again real quick. When I was working when I was doing Harley Racist camps, I've never, ever once said that he took it easy on us. He was an asshole the entire time. Made us better, but he was a dick. But when Tracy would come in, it would be like Dad just beat your ass for fucking 4 hours, and then Mom brought you chocolate milk.
Yep.
Because he would sit down with you and talk to you about what you like. Just he's a fucking wealth of knowledge.
You know why Harley said this? This is why he said this.
Yeah, with like Harley. I'm not going to sit here and go on a gushing thing about Harley Race because I wouldn't have had the success if I didn't have him. But Tracy Smothers is just one of those fucking guys who will never ever come around in the business again.
No.
Also, prioritized women wrestling. Made sure that every card he ever booked, every card he ever worked on, the women's wrestling matches were featured. And when women first started transitioning into American deathmatch wrestling, ensured that every single time they did it, they'd be approached with respect. And if you don't believe that, talk to Mickey Knuckles.
Not only Mickey Knuckles talked to Jessie Smothers, his daughter, Jessie Bell, who is an amazing athlete.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's not signed somewhere right now is a travesty. She
there-
is in WoW. She is going to be in WoW.
There are 3 guys who you, as an indie wrestler, always wanted to get booked on a card with if they were around. It was him, it was Ricky Morton, and it was, well, say Jimmy Jacobs or Cahagas if you were looking for like the new avenue.
Yeah.
Or the old answer is Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
If you had any of those 3 around, fucking, you were in the money because those guys would sit and teach you shit, man.
Yeah, they really
Will
would.
be missed.
Yeah, rest in
Sorry.
peace.
Go back to the rest of the show.
all right, tied up 2-2, going into celebrity birthdays. We got about 2 handfuls. On the 28th,
It's me.
that is,
Caitlin's favorite
this
actor.
day.
Looks like me.
Jack motherfucking Black, lead singer of Tenacious D, started his acting career, shortly after he started his music career, got signed to MTV at the age of like 24 or 25. That's where he spawned the Tenacious D short series that MTV completely funded, which would go on later to them actually cutting real albums and signing on to do the Tenacious D movie. Has a historic career in comedy.
Well, Tenacious D started on HBO as a miniseries.
But it was funded by MTV.
Yeah. Also, you have to add in the fact his first actual role in movies was a movie called High
High
Fidelity,
Fidelity.
which was fantastic, and a lot of people didn't put two and two together that he was the guy from Tenacious D till he sang
Yes, but-
"Let's Get It On"
Yeah.
at the end of that movie.
He was also the
What
hacker
was
in...
Tenacious D's first background appearance?
That would be Biodome.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was the hacker in The Core.
Yes.
Yes.
What was it he said? I'm going to need...
A bigger boat.
No, he said something about...
No,
needing
you're thinking of somebody else.
Something Hot Pockets. No, it's him. He was the hacker. in
I don't
Core.
think it was Core. I thought the Core was the guy from the new guy, DJ Qualls, where he's like, I need a wrapper from a stick of bubble gum, and you
then-
now have unlimited for life.
No, pretty sure it was...
Might be right.
Hold on. Let me look that up. And
Yeah, I think I'm right.
Hold on.
Also, I can connect this real quick with Jack Black and the fact that Jack Black on our could be on our wrestling list.
Should be.
Look at that bottom picture.
Bottom square, Nacho Libre. Which is okay. Here's the deal. You can say whatever you want about Nacho Libre. That movie's funny. It's funny. It's ignorant, and it's on the dumb side, but it is hilarious. And the guy he has as his little partner,
It's great.
fantastic.
He
Second only to Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite.
He
Yes.
plays somewhat of that same character in a couple different movies that I've seen. That he's hilarious. I have no idea what his name is. I couldn't tell you.
Oh, no. The one you're thinking of is The Bourne Identity. Jack Black was the hacker in The Bourne Identity with the Hot Pockets. That was the first Bourne
Okay.
movie. Yeah, DJ Qualls.
I knew he was a hacker in something.
Yeah,
What
DJ
the hell
Qualls
is
was in the Core.
He's in his 50s, right? It's got to be...
I
He's
can't
up
tell
there.
you.
54.
I'm going to say 50.
How about 53 years old? Jack Black today.
But also, 54 is a 45 more. Which is also a Jack Black reference that we make on the show all the time.
Top right corner.
All right.
You know, he also owns a legitimate school of rock.
Yeah.
In New York, where they funds music.
Yep.
Also today,
One of the Sticky Bandits.
It's the Wet Bandits.
Wet
Daniel
Bandits.
Stern.
He is the Sticky Bandit.
Thank you very much. Daniel Stern.
Y'all can remember him for that all you want.
Home Alone.
He knocked up the girl that worked for him in the grocery store in City Slickers.
Okay, but he was also the pitching coach in
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
He was
Nice.
You heat up the ice cube.
It's
It's the best smoke.
and bushwhacked.
Yes.
That's right.
He also stole Damon Wayans so the Celtics could win the playoffs in Celtic pride. Also, we would be remiss not to mention his biggest role. He was the narrator for the Wonder Years.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
God, man,
He's got to be up there with De Niro. Close, if not maybe 10 years prior. I'm going to say 65.
66.
About 65 on the nose.
Oh, I'm so goddamn
I was gonna
good.
say 65. You beat me to it. Fantastic. I knew it wasn't much older.
I'm so ill. I make medicine sick.
One more today.
Who the hell is
Shania
that?
Twain.
Oh, Shania
I
Twain.
ran into her in Vegas. Literally.
I feel like a woman.
She felt like a woman.
I bet you do. Fuck,
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
no idea how the hell old Shania Twain is. She's been making music.
You
since
realize
I was a
whatever
kid.
age we guess, the Shania Twain fans that are seeing this are going to hate both
Yeah,
of us.
because every cross section of Shania Twain fans love professional.
She
Oh,
feels
well,
like a
actually,
woman.
There might be.
I'm going to
We're gonna get
say
killed on Reddit. for this.
58.
50, just because.
How about 57?
Damn it!
Ooh, like that, you like that.
5 to 2.
You see, he struck the child.
Moving on to the
Name
30th.
the movie reference.
Where?
Thank you very much.
Moving on to the 30th will be
That's a nice image.
Cameron Diaz.
Someone needs to tell Cameron Diaz that there's a monster behind her.
First of all, don't you dare disrespect Fiona in this house.
Do what I,
We love,
do what I
we
want.
love Fiona. Cameron Diaz, she was also in Charlie's Angels.
Yes.
And,
Bad Teacher.
And I'm sure other films.
Mask.
Yeah.
Mask. The mask.
She is in the
100%.
mask. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, she's so in the mask.
Yeah, she is.
Really good role.
She's also older than you think she is.
Oh, yeah, she's got to be, right?
She's also in Charlie's Angels.
I already said that.
Both
I
of
know,
them.
but I can't think of another one.
Okay, I am trying so hard to think of more Cameron Diaz roles, but I'm coming up short.
Something about Mary?
I was just thinking
Oh,
that.
fuck, I forgot about something about
Yeah.
that. Ben Stiller?
How old is she?
That's a very good question, Max.
50.
51.
What'd you say, Luke?
50.
50!
All right. Good answer.
That makes me feel old.
5 to 3. Who's next? Ooh,
My man Luther!
My favorite comedian ever,
You know,
Lewis
if it
Black.
wasn't for her horse, she would have never made it through college.
And Christians got it wrong,
There,
didn't they?
there's a hole in the ozone layer. We have saran wrap. Fix it.
It's not their fault. It's not their book. One of the best political commentary comedians ever. Actually, retired.
Hold on. We were talking about this before you got here.
Yeah.
And I had mentioned the thing about nutrition facts on the bottle of water and how
Yeah.
you want the water with the fat in it.
Yeah.
Is a Lewis
It's a
Black
Lewis
reference.
Black bit.
Yeah.
He actually retired prior to COVID, and then decided to do 2 remaining specials that were funded by, one was HBO, one was CBS, are both, you can actually download the podcast and the videos for them, and came out of retirement specifically because both of his parents finally passed away, and decided they had to do one last tour. He's so incredible. One of the best political commentarists, probably the best since George Carlin that we've seen in modern comedy.
Also, he was the dean in acceptance.
And acceptance, yeah. 64 is my guess.
I'm going to go a little older. I'm going to say 67.
How about 74?
74.
Years old.
Nailed it.
I knew he was up there. I got you.
It's now 5 to 4.
That's all right.
Another one on the 30th.
Ben Grimm? Ben, what? Fantastic.
Chickless.
Fantastic.
That's right.
Fantastic
There
Four
you go.
came out in the 1960s. No, never mind.
Michael Chickless.
Michael Chiklis, who was the star of The Shield.
Yes.
One of FX's first homegrown,
Can
fully
we talk
produced.
about the Johnsons? The short-lived TV show where his whole family was superheroes. Do you remember this?
No, I
It was
don't.
on ABC. It ran for a season. He was the dad of a group of superheroes to which they based The Incredibles off of.
Oh, nice.
But it was a TV show on ABC where every one of the him, the wife, and the 2 kids, with a boy and a girl, all had separate. Well, all of them but one had superpowers, and they were trying to figure out what
Yeah.
the 4th one's was.
Yeah.
Same thing as The Incredibles.
Same thing as Up and Away, the first Disney original movie made for ABC Saturday nights.
What about
Sky High.
No, Up and Away.
No, the Sky High.
Sky
was,
High,
yeah.
Better.
He was also the star of The Shield, which was
Yeah.
the first,
Already.
but I didn't get a chance to explain it, was the series that FX was originally a byproduct of Fox that only aired movies. It was the first attempt at doing a full feature, full-length series, and won, I think, like 14 Academy Awards over 5 seasons.
Can you name the other Emmy Award-winning show that he was on before that?
Ooh. No, I don't think I can.
Trivia. The Commish.
Okay.
He played the Commish.
But that wasn't produced by FX.
No. I said what other Emmy Award?
No, I was just...
Yeah.
So, because FX did 2 shows. They did that, and they did the Firestarter show, the firefighter show with Dennis Leary.
Yeah.
That was 10 years. I don't
I
remember.
can't remember.
That'll drive me nuts.
Trapped. No, that's a movie. That's a movie.
With Kurt Russell.
God damn it.
Uh,
We will address this later. Let's guess this man's age. Motherfucker. No, we won't. God damn it.
yes, how old is Michael Jacobs?
Hold on. I have to know the name of this damn show. Why is my Bluetooth still on? That's weird.
It's because it's weird and it's your phone. Let's
Rescue
see.
Me?
Rescue Me. Thank you.
Very much.
Rescue something.
Also, he hates
Now
everyone.
we know. Guess the
Dennis Leary. Let's see.
He's an
Michael Chiklis, 56.
I'm going to say 57 because I imagine he's a little older.
He is a little older. He will be 59
Nice.
years old.
Man, that means, what, they did that 20 years ago? 20 plus?
Early
So he would have
2000s,
been
yeah.
just 30?
Yep. Rescue Me, John
And he
Wagner.
looked like Arn Anderson at 30.
Oh,
He
hello,
looked like a
Bethany.
middle-aged man.
Welcome to this.
Welcome to the
Train
show.
wreck.
We're still going.
All right, on the 31st.
Uh-huh. No, go ahead.
Richard Gere.
Yep.
And that's Chris Tucker.
There you go.
Actually, more appropriately, that's Smokey.
He don't smoke no more.
No, he don't.
He don't. Richard Gere once had to have a hamster surgically removed from his butthole. That's a vicious lie that was created in the early 2000s about
Through
Richard
the,
Gere
the American Gigolo
and
movie.
just
Yeah.
kept going. He was in, I can never remember, first of all, Officer and a Gentleman and Pretty
First
Women.
night.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty Women.
Yeah.
Pretty Woman.
Mothman Prophecies.
Officer and a Gentleman.
Primal Fear.
And the movie where he cheated on his wife with the sex addict who, like, broke the glass. I can't remember the name of the movie.
Woman?
No, entirely different. Shut up. And wasn't he also in...
He killed the dude in Unbelievable for sleeping with his wife.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
he
what
was
I'm saying.
also in either Runaway Bride
Yes,
or
he
My
was.
Best Friend's Wedding with Julia
Runaway
Roberts.
Bride.
Runaway Bride.
Yep.
Classics.
Let's
First of all, I
see.
love Officer and Gentleman.
Richard Gere,
He's got to be the 70s, right?
I would think. 73.
70.
About 73 on the nose.
Nice.
Smokey,
Smoke it.
Chris Tucker of not only Friday fame, but Rush Hour fame, of course.
He's also on Jeffrey Epstein's private flight log, so fuck him.
The Fifth Element.
Come on.
That.
I love the Fifth Element.
Also, if you haven't seen his stand-up stuff on Netflix, the stand-up special, it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
He's also got to be up there, right? He would at least be in his 50s.
Money
by
Talks.
now.
I don't know, you man, at the same time.
55 is going to be my guess.
I'm going to
conservatively.
say 56.
Oh, you both went over. You were big 51.
Wow, good for Chris Tucker. Money don't crack.
How about on September 2nd,
To be a set of hands.
Muse.
News.
That's
That
Miss
is
Selma
lovely
Hayek.
Selma.
Selma Hayek.
She don't age. She
Was-
never aged. She'll never age. Dust till dawn.
Was cast in... Hold on.
Is that
Was
your guess?
cast in Dust Till Dawn
Because of her feet.
by Quentin Tarantino because of her feet, and then Tarantino, having a foot fetish, wrote in a toe-sucking scene and wrote himself to play the part. For
It was
just
weird.
fine-ass, young
weird.
Selma Hayek.
Just Selma
Just-
Hayek. Just.
Just,
Carrot
just, goddamn.
God. I don't want to upset
here's the
Selma
thing.
Hayek.
Here's the thing. She started young, but she started young in the
Yes, she did.
90s.
Uh-huh.
So she would be,
She played Frida, which was a great role.
I'm going to say 53.
I'm going to say 54.
How about Selma Hayek will be 56 years old?
Got it.
What? Look, it's all tied up.
Nice.
How many we got left?
We
don't
got 4 left.
Okay, this could be a tie at the end.
We're on it.
Also on the 2nd,
Someone else who don't age.
Keanu Reeves. Star of The Matrix. What,
Y'all-
now
that's
the
why he
what-
doesn't age. 'cause-
Y'all's generation know Keanu Reeves for The Matrix. We know him for Bill and Ted. We are not the same.
Right.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Parts 1.
What's the other one in there?
Bogus Journey.
No, what's the other one from?
Oh, that's Speed.
That's Speed.
No, I'm sorry. That's Point Break.
Point
Oh,
Break.
Point Break.
That's
That's right.
Thank
Him
you.
and Swayze. Was also the star of Constantine before DC Comics really had an extended movie
Do
universe.
we have to
And
mention
is
John
also-
Wick?
Well, yeah. Yes.
I mean, obviously.
47 Ronin, Hardball,
Yep.
one of his
Yeah.
best
Yeah.
I
roles.
love Hardball.
Fantastic.
He also was in the movie with Jack Nicholson and
He was in The Devil's Advocate with Al Pacino, which was great.
Yeah.
it was him, Jack Nicholson, either Meryl Streep or the actress who looks like Meryl Streep, whose name I can never remember, and Sandra Bullock, where he played the young doctor who was diagnosing Sandra Bullock's mother. Any idea what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I could.
I can't remember the name of it.
No,
I was gonna say he was
Also-
also in Shakespeare in Love, but
He is just now he just got a starring role on some TV being produced by HBO Max, and is the biggest advocate for the Constantine series that HBO created.
John Wick 4 will be coming out.
John Wick,
for a
yeah.
while.
also he donated his entire paycheck for the new Matrix movie to homeless.
He donated his entire paycheck from the first Matrix movie to the Stunt Actors Guild.
Yep.
How old is Saint Keanu Reeves?
Replacements. How did we not say the replacements?
One of my absolute favorite.
First he was
Well,
afraid.
Remember what I said about
He's
not
best
hitting the
cut.
guy wearing a red shirt?
Yeah.
Forget everything I just said.
I'm gonna say he's in his 50s.
Yeah, 50, but 50, 55.
53.
How about 58 years old?
Wow. Talk about somebody who donated. He's immortal, is what it is.
They're going to put him and Tom Cruise in a movie at some point.
Eventually.
And it's just going to be two old dudes.
He also announced not too long ago he wants to play old Batman.
Yes. Yeah. He wants to play the Thomas Wayne version of Batman that was written by the same writer who, goddamn it, all the comic book nerds love him, that wrote The Watchmen. I can't remember his name.
All right.
Frank Miller, thank you very much.
Comes Batman, I know my Batman.
On September 2nd.
Mr. Cat Williams, Mr. Shithead Mark Harmon.
Fuck Mark Harmon. I was the biggest Mark Harmon fan until the story came out where he was mean to... You told me about this.
Mean to her dog.
That he made my birthday list was just to piss
He
you off.
he was mean to Abby on NCIS over a dog that he didn't train correctly. Go fuck yourself. Also, though, he legitimately, in 2009, saved a woman's life. There was a massive car wreck outside of his house, and he, I guess, was a firefighter at some point, and ran out and used a pry bar and got her out of the car before anything else happened.
And then he kicked the Dalmatian that come in on the fire truck.
I know how that's He was also in... Was it summer school?
Yes.
Okay, because I always get that one confused
with chainsaw, Leatherface.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. We'll go Mark Harmon first. Old as shit.
60s, all day.
61.
Late 60s, 62. You said 61. I said 62 on Mark Harmon.
Well, you got it. He will be 71.
I got
it. Yeah, you got it there.
And Cat Williams. One of the best comedians ever. One of the only comedians to rise to prominence during the era when MTV only focused, or not MTV, but this was during the cable expansion that you got BET, VH1, all under the MTV banner. He had specials on every single network. He was basically Dave Chappelle before Dave Chappelle.
You know where he got his big break?
It wasn't the show I'm thinking of. No, I don't.
Wildin' Out. Nick Cannon's show where they rap against each other and do stuff. He was on
That's impossible.
He is. Look it up. He was my favorite on the early days. Him and Mikey Day. Him on Wildin' Out was great.
He was in, hold on, not his big break, because he was the pimp in Friday in the 90s.
But that wasn't his big break. He was a bit part in that. His biggest...
my boy, Damon!
His biggest claim to fame was Wildin' Out. That brought him on a national level.
I don't know about that.
Anyway, Cat Williams... Fuck. I'm going to go 50.
I'm going to say 51 because I think he's older. I think he's in the 54 area.
He will be 51 years old.
All right. Well,
I knew he was up there.
Actually, I mean, that's relatively young considering he's been doing something in Hollywood for the last, 30 years?
Well, he took 2 years off due to that charge with the gun that wasn't his.
All right. Our last birthday.
And that time he got beat up by a 16-year-old.
On September 3rd.
My hero. My liege.
We talk about
king.
the Church of Pro Wrestling Throwdown.
I worship at the Church of Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
He is
we
my
drink
king.
tiger blood.
And we're always winning. Star of 2.5 Men, acclaimed series, another Fox property.
He also took his ex-wife, Denise Richards, and just straight up called her a racial slur. Just straight up called her one, and the messed up part is she's the whitest woman in the world, and he called her the word we don't get to talk about.
And spent all of his life doing hard drugs, fucking porn stars.
Did you ever hear the cut? He was on a movie phone thing. You remember movie phone?
Yeah.
He did an interview with Movie Phone once where he said, never trust a prostitute whose breath smells like her own butthole. That is a Charlie Sheen legit reference he made.
I don't think any of you understand the appreciation and love that I have for this band.
He was also supposed to be Dante in Clerks.
Yes, he was. Star of Young Guns.
Mm-hmm.
And also, one of my favorite quotes ever when it came to the approach to his acting, was by Emilio Estevez, his half-brother.
Yep.
Said, Charlie Sheen is a one-trick pony, but it's a damn good trick.
Yep.
One of my favorites. He's got 60. I'm just saying 60.
I'm going to say 64.
Oh, you bumped over jumped in. He will be 57 years old.
Still
That's
young.
what drugs do to you.
Still killing it.
Caleb wins it by 3.
Don't you Charlie Sheen me.
Somebody dropped
Don't
a
you
band
talk
hammer
about
on her.
Charlie
They
like
dropped
that.
a band hammer?
You have no idea. You know what? Yeah, get into this right now.
Slide.
2.5 Men is my Bible.
Till Ashton.
All right.
Until Ashton ruined it.
Are we ready? Ready to go on?
Are you? Yes. Nice.
Are you ready for this?
Well, what time is it? It's time for more bullshit. That's right.
Oh.
Now I have a slew of things that just random shit I come across.
If y'all thought Caleb's head was gonna explode before, stay tuned.
And I don't
hate
remember
this
what
segment.
order we put this in, so we're just gonna go with it.
Splendid.
Before we jump into that slide, I would like to remind everybody that after birthdays and bullshit, we're going to talk about intergender wrestling.
Yes, we are. And also, I would like to remind all of you to please like the stream and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And also to find us over at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. You can also follow us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. You can send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. You can follow us on TikTok at Pro Wrestling Throwdown 1. You can also hit us up at streamlabs.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown, where you can find our merch. Over there, we have coffee cups, we have bags, we've got yoga pants, we've got a brand new bikini line that we just released today that has our face on your upper unmentionables and my face specifically on
Question.
your lowers.
You, Rob mentioned earlier that he donated $30
Yeah.
to the fund. Do you think he bought one of those bikinis for himself?
No. It's a donation. Plus they're
They are, that's right.
if you purchase from the store, you get your name entered into the bucket to win at the end of August. You also, for every dollar you donate, get entered in your name every single time for those dollars, specifically for donations. If you correct us here on the show before we catch it, like John tried to do, or when you correct me already, your name will get entered as well. We are doing the coffee cup drawing at the end of this month. Next month, we are doing a personalized phone call. Also, while you're still watching, do not forget, we are not live next Sunday. We are live on September 5th, Labor Day Monday, for a special break-in. It's going to be a member of the team's birthday. We're going to have a lot of fun stuff, and we've all got the day off. So
We decided we wasn't going to buy him a present this year. We were just going to do a podcast.
And food.
Ain't that right, Caleb? That's what we agreed to.
Yeah. I haven't said specifically that it's my birthday, but
I didn't say it was either. You just ruined it.
You just told everybody. You check it.
Fine.
Such your butts.
You don't even go here.
The good surprise on you.
Wasted the good surprise on you.
Actually,
How
technically,
fucking dare you?
technically, it would be wasted the good surprise on yourself. Booby tasses.
Like, that's the first fucking time I've done that.
You're the loud
All
fucking
right,
person.
let's go into more bullshit.
What
All right,
are we
let's do it.
into here?
Bethany, I know that. I'm just teasing you.
Now this is the technology that we have developed. Now, let's go. You want to read that, Caleb?
Well, I'd love to. If the font were just...
Basically, we have discovered wind power.
This wind-powered cargo ship is set to change the way we ship the goods across oceans. The model is... Yeah, that font is too small.
Basically, it's a wind-powered ship.
Uh-huh.
That's how far we've come. That we have developed. We figured out how to sail with wind.
I feel like...
I feel like somebody's done that
we knew
before.
how to do that.
I mean,
Specifically,
We're really developing some serious
between the
technology.
11th and 17th century, which was our primary mode of
Yeah, as a
shipping
matter of
cargo.
fact, even back then they built ships that
What
were
a time to
5
be
times
alive.
better than
Did you
what we build
know,
now.
just as a
So-
random off fact from this bullshit, that pirate movies were a huge modicum of revenue in the 1970s in Hollywood? Huge. Until they did, in the 1982, they produced the first, it's called Black Island or Black Ship or something. The highest, at that point, budgeted film ever that was a complete flop at the box office. But for that 10 years, pirate movies were the #1 movie that ever grossed anything, and no studio ever entertained doing a pirate movie again until
Treasure Island?
Pirates of the Caribbean. Treasure Island was a small budget movie produced by PBS's shareholders specifically to promote the Muppets,
I
not
was about to
including
say, what about Muppets?
not including the 2 offshoots of Treasure Island, but that was already in that was like a remake over 4 times. But for almost 20 years consecutively in Hollywood, there wasn't one pirate movie that was produced by a major studio until Pirates. So we can thank Johnny Depp for restoring the
Do
pirate
you
genre.
think that they did all that pirating by sailing around with, like, maybe
wind.
Oh, that's how Blackbeard did it. He made
good
$16
enough for
million
him, good
doing
enough
it.
for us.
So
All right, let's see what else
we're
we got
selling
on the
bikinis
list.
with my face on it. He made $16 million for that was a real
Now,
number.
with everything going on in the world,
Jesus.
don't be an asshole. You don't be like this neighbor.
Which one? The one who doesn't mow their grass? or the one that does?
That's.
Where do you stand on this issue, Max? Because I'm interested.
I would honestly, I would go ahead and mow that 4 inches of grass for
So,
my neighbor's side.
I really wanted to be the dickhead who said I wouldn't, but I absolutely would. However, that's super petty.
That is petty.
Don't be like that.
Unless they're just real assholes, then.
Yeah, but you're also...
Then instead, well, the thing missing is you can tell he was a decent person because even though he didn't cut the grass, there's not a giant pile of human shit
Yeah,
in the big grass because that's what I would have done.
shit in one neighbor's yard.
There's
Would
no
never
dead
let you
grass floating.
Yeah, no, he cleaned up after himself.
Shit my pants with one in my own front yard, drunkard and shit, and everybody talks about it.
Hey!
Alright, let's
try
here. This is a story I came across, and I'm going to post the link to this article.
Is this
in
the one
chat
where the
in a second.
girls get eaten by
This
the
is-
whale?
Yes.
Okay.
And this legitimately happened.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
I just watched the video last week.
I will post the link to the video in the comments in just a minute.
Basically, these there are a couple of girls on a small boat that are
Yeah.
moving around. No, they're
on kayak.
they're
on kayak.
they're
There's
yakking.
video footage. There's multiple videos.
Wow.
They're literally just you watch the water
Yeah.
dissipates from around them, and
And a whale
they
swallows
come
them up.
and swallows them, and then apparently decided that he didn't like the taste of them and spit them back out.
Well, that's yes, but whales, even for their size, can't digest something that big. So they literally waited in.
Max, you know about that.
They waited in the water in the whale's mouth until it opened again. The worst part about that video is the scream that you hear, at least the one that I watched, right before it, because you just hear these two girls getting murdered, is what it sounds like. And it's
Both
terrifying,
link
too.
to it.
It's, yeah.
Don't look at it now. Wait till we're done.
Yes, please.
Also, I would like to point out the fact that the reason that they spit them out is because they had both had kombucha earlier in the day, and they just had their hair bleached,
not
and that's why he spit them out.
I thought it was the
whales-
taste of the suntan lotion.
They don't like the taste of methamphetamine.
It's just because whales don't digest things that big because they don't physically take bites.
Max knows all about that.
They evolved literally living off of microbial. You know what? I don't have the time to explain the
Anyway.
gestation issues that whales have.
Or the digestion issues.
Caleb is not a
That's
marine
fine.
biologist,
Yeah,
but
that's
he
fine.
did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
I made that joke today. Jesus!
Can't even high five
What is
together.
wrong? Get the fuck together. We still have. We're 2.5 hours in, and we still have 45 minutes to go.
Oh,
Anyway,
y'all's fault. Oh, y'all's fault.
next.
I'm so disappointed.
Most.
I found some odd Guinness records.
Okay.
All right.
One of them happens to be the person with the most
Don't drink, don't smoke.
what is it? Fingers,
And toes.
fingers, and with the most fingers and toes. Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Hold on. Can we guess?
Yeah, let's get.
Yeah, go ahead.
All
Take a
right.
guess. Take a guess.
Is this separate? Like, is there one person with more fingers and one person with more toes, or is this one person have the most?
One person with the most fingers and toes, like extra fingers and toes.
So we counting on how many extra?
Yeah, like all together. How about that?
13 fingers, 15 toes. That's my guess.
14 fingers. 14 toes?
Well, that was kind of cheating because we talked about it yesterday.
Oh my god!
14 fingers and 14.
I thought my hands were fucked up. Hey, real quick, ask me what my favorite dinosaur is.
What's your favorite dinosaur?
Brontosaurus.
I felt like Littlefoot was about to talk to me about a tree star. That's fucked up.
Oh, Littlefoot's mom got killed by a T-Rex.
Why you gotta bring up sad shit, Ray?
Because I'm a sad motherfucker.
That's just fucking creepy.
Jesus, that's terrible.
Max brought this up. We were
I'm a-
discussing things the other day. Do you think he plays himself in video games?
I'm a major proponent of... Never. I'm going to get myself...
I think he should have had some of those removed. It might be cancerous.
Well, you...
Might make a good man, OnlyFans.
Yeah, he definitely
The
an
problem
OnlyFans
with
guy.
your extremities is that your nerve endings are connected, so...
He's doing the Diamond Dallas Page thing without actually trying to do the Diamond
Oh
Dallas
my
Page thing.
god, he is. That's a wrestling guy.
Still went out the rock.
Throwing out the...
The boulder.
Okay, what's next?
The rock all the time.
Oh!
Next is another one that I came
Pufferfish
across.
things.
This is the most toothpicks and somebody's beard.
Go fuck
And I
yourself.
think I brought this up because
No.
I think
Hold on.
give Luke a little bit more, and I think we're going to try this with him.
I'll break that record.
Maybe Johnny can grow his back out.
Look,
What is that? I think
How
somewhere
much
like
time?
3,000.
And
Did
it's
this
3,500 toothpicks.
this guy probably has kids, probably has pets, has a family, has a job. He took a fucking month off work and locked himself in a room to fucking put toothpicks in his beard.
Well, he didn't lock himself in there because he had to have locked himself and the Guinness
Yeah.
record guy in the
Yeah,
room
but
together.
he got to get his record out.
Well, here's the deal. If there's 3,500, I'll do 3,501. That's a record, right?
We'll see what he does.
All I'd have to do is get one more in there to break a record, because I'm legit, like, we say a lot of stupid shit on the show. But if we could get a Guinness World Record for some ignorant shit like that, I'm game.
As much as I hate that,
I think I could.
and I do, I almost want to try it.
I think I could.
It's thick enough.
My beard is thick enough to hold that.
It really
Do you want to take a shot at the
I'll
world
take a
record
shot
for
at the world
most
record.
toothpicks in your beard?
Yep.
All right, y'all heard it. Stay tuned because we'll do it.
Yep.
I guess. What is this show becoming?
I'm gonna add an extra hour to the show getting him in there.
All
We
right.
got an extra hour show today. Hour to the show today.
What's
Good
next,
Lord.
there, Big John?
2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is my last piece here. I just want to. This is how much faith that I have in the world.
Okay.
This is quote by
May-
a forest ranger.
May I?
Yes, go ahead. Would you like it a bigger?
No, I can read that.
Okay.
Quote by a forest ranger at Yosemite National Park on why it's hard to design the perfect garbage bin to keep bears from breaking into it. There is considerable overlap between the intelligence of the smartest bears and the dumbest tourists.
There's a serious overlap. Considerable.
Bears are still bipedal organisms. They don't have opposable thumbs. Shut your fucking trash can lids.
They could use their nose to open.
They can use their paws to open it, but shut it. It's the last line of defense.
Yeah, but then the tourists aren't smart enough to open it and get it.
Here's my question. How many picnic baskets were in the trash cans? Because that changes the conversation.
Well, especially if you have.
Yeah, that's a Yogi reference. I'm old enough.
Was there honey in it?
Bears are absolutely not smarter than people.
Did he show him his pecker? It's important.
Maybe not the average bear.
Take you home. Take you home.
My man. Hey, boo-boo. Want to take a look at that picnic basket?
Alright, is that it for bullshit? Is there any more? We done?
Yeah, here we go.
God, I fucking hope so.
It is time for the great discussion that we come up with.
We've only been doing this show for 2.5 hours. But this is a great talking point. Max was the one who decided to do this. In the idea that, in the vein that the WWE wanted to move to TV 14 ratings, the conversation got brought up about intergender wrestling and what it could feature. Now, that's a huge modicum of independent wrestling right now. Intergender wrestling is very much in. Elevating female stars on the same level as males, because let's be fair, that wasn't always the conversation.
Yeah.
And so right now, the conversation is, where does intergender wrestling and mainstream professional wrestling, where do they meet in a happy medium?
Right.
Now,
Well, they did it with China back in the day, and it worked.
China and Jeff Jarrett from the Intercontinental title. There's one argument to that, though. China had every single presentation behind her. Not only her genetics, not only how she looked. She had the DX engine, the highest rated segment for the WWE. She was part of that. So it was built organically. We almost got that in, 2008 with Beth Phoenix,
Yeah.
except they didn't decide to pull the trigger.
What made me bring it up, what put it in my head was Rhea Ripley
Yes.
and the Rey Mysterio thing.
Yeah.
Where
Dominic.
there is no in my
No,
head,
the Ray.
in
He's
my
talking about the
mind,
Ray.
the way that Rhea came at everything, there
Yeah.
was no
She'd
reason
been kidnapping
that
Dominic.
Rey shouldn't have hit her back.
Well, number one, Ray's a babyface.
Right.
It's
right.
different with Austin. Austin could get away with stunning a woman.
Yes.
We're talking just specifically for TV because Austin did whatever he wanted to do. He stunned Linda McMahon when she was 68 years old. But can you expect that same reaction from a Dolph Ziggler if he were to
Let's
super
bring
kick
back
her?
the mixed tag matches where the guys actually interact with the girls. They don't have to switch out.
Okay, but let's compare the rosters up to date, just for the mainstream companies. Actually, where it would be fully functional is AEW. Because not every single guy has a very superimposing physique there. You can get away with a Britt Baker versus Adam Cole match. For, loser pays the light bill match. You know what I'm saying? Like a genuine marital dispute with a story.
Raquel Rodriguez, just 3.
Okay.
That go against almost any.
Okay. Can you put Raquel Rodriguez, Rhea Ripley, or Bianca Belair against Roman Reigns?
Not Roman Reigns. No,
Okay.
but you go after the...
Here's my thing. I see kind of what you're saying, Max. Because here's the deal. If you're going to try to build a female star, like they're doing Rhea Ripley, and she can put her hands all over Dominic Mysterio.
She's kidnapped him for the last, 3 weeks.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's his son. If you're messing with his son, why wouldn't Ray put his hands?
Or something.
Well, and I agree, but again, that goes into that element of only heels hit women.
Well, what would be the payoff if she's beating up Dominic every week and Dominic
Well,
can't get his heat back?
Right. What makes the women so much special that they can attack someone?
But you're looking at
receiving...
the wrong story. Because if you're gonna book an intergender match in the WWE, the obvious solution is Seth Rollins versus Becky Lynch.
That would be...
Where
Yeah.
Becky gets the win when Seth Rollins loses. Seth Rollins is still a heel. Becky's still a babyface.
Yeah.
You can play that out in real time. Number one, Seth has the right physique and the right style that can complement what she does in the ring where it's believable if she picks up the win. That isn't to say in real life he's not tough enough. I'm just saying for the presentation alone, that's where you go. If you look at other marital couples, does Edge beat Beth Phoenix? No.
No, that's...
From the story you want to tell, frankly, she's bigger than he is.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really want to book it, you absolutely could. The one story, if you were to doing an intergender story in wrestling today, in my opinion, is Charlotte Flair versus Cody Rhodes. Because Charlotte can hang with the men.
Yeah.
Their families have history.
Goes into the whole only one royal family thing.
But it has to be booked the right way. It has to be...
Yeah.
When Tessa Blanchard won the Impact World Championship, she wrestled the top stars there. But you have to look at it realistically. Impact doesn't have a roster that spans size, physique,
That's true.
and the machine behind them, which is a very different thing in the WWE. AEW, you can do that feasibly with pretty much anyone on the roster.
Yeah.
But in the WWE, you have to look at Bianca Belair could probably legitimately overpower a lot of dudes in the WWE.
I think
couldn't out wrestle half the male superstars.
Not saying that she couldn't. Not saying that she couldn't. How are you going to bill it? How are you going to book it? How's it going to look afterward? For instance,
Right, but that's
we
with
all know.
That's with anything.
But we all know in real life, Natty's probably one of the best pound for pound technical wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
You're going to put her up against former UFC fighter Matt Riddle?
I would although I
For
would
the
maybe-
performance aspect, maybe.
I would almost pay to see that.
But when you look at
Yeah.
the Rolodex, before Matt Riddle was signed to the WWE, he was undefeated in the UFC.
A Rolodex,
5
by the
straight
way, is what
fights.
they used before the internet was invented.
Yes.
It's not what a Rolodex is. Anyway, I'm just saying, if you look at because the argument's going to come into even in their universe, what is the most realistic? Matt Riddle was an undefeated he won 5 straight fights before he got released by the UFC, right?
Yeah.
So we know he's an accomplished, legitimate MMA fighter
Yes.
who's also happens to be in a higher weight class than Natty. Can she out wrestle him in real life? Probably. Can she outstrike him?
No.
No. But where do you go then? Do you let him haul off and knock the shit out of Natty on national TV?
That's where you had
That comes-
right.
yeah.
But
The obvious solution is Becky versus Seth,
that's with anything.
which is a match that fucking take it.
Yeah.
Take it, because Becky comes out looking like
I
a
think-
million
I
bucks,
think
and it
where-
doesn't hurt Seth because it's his
Yeah.
fucking wife,
I think
and he's a
where the
lunatic character.
I think where the discussion is going is there's a lot of female athletes, professional wrestlers, that on the indies do this every weekend.
Every weekend.
But I think where Max is going with this is there's always that small, and let's face it, professional wrestling has been a man's sport for years. It has.
Always.
Male-dominated sport.
Until moving
And,
back.
well, and then you have the women coming up saying, we want equal time, we want equal this, we want equal that. the best way to give them that would be to shoot more intergender matches.
See, I think an intergender tag team division works great. I've
does.
always been a proponent for that.
It would-
And I'm a tag team wrestling
it would be
traditionalist.
better.
Yeah.
It's the best way because you get
Like,
this.
like you said, given booked right with the right people and the right mixture, there is potential for
So let's have that conversation real quick.
huge matches.
Pick 2 men from WWE and 2 women and 2 men from AEW that you can believe. Actually, since I watch the most AEW out of all of us, I don't think that's a surprise. I'll do the AEW. You guys think about 2 women from the WWE and 2 men from the WWE that you could easily pair up in matches that, one, doesn't hurt your male superstar, or elevates them as a heel for winning. In
Why does it
other,
have to not hurt your male superstar?
I,
Somebody's gotta take it.
I'm saying the heat.
Yeah.
If he's one of your top heels, do you kill the heat for a female, for a woman, or do you elevate the woman over the top, or do you pair it up for baby?
What you mean is
ability?
what star can you use to be defeated by a female superstar that isn't going to?
And one who still
I
comes
get what
out on
he's
top
saying.
for beating the woman. Because
let's see.
let's face it, if you're not a true heel, like a true heel, you beating a woman means jack fuck. If MJF comes out on AEW Dynamite next week and beats Britt Baker, it doesn't hurt her,
No.
and it makes him look all the more asshole. Everyone wins. If she beats him, everyone wins because she toppled the biggest asshole in the
I
company.
think you already touched the top
MJF
four.
and Britt Baker.
No, for WWE, and that's
Okay.
Seth and Becky, and that's Charlotte and Cody.
No, I think honestly, what's in my head, and I'm not going off
Sure.
what you said. I would book Bianca Belair and Seth Rollins,
Also good.
and it would end. It would end. Everybody's gonna hate this, but it would end with the stop.
All the heel heat, no one loses, right? Or she overpowers him, dodges the stomp, no one loses.
Yeah.
But do you take Rusev, Miro, over on AEW, who is a dominant force right now,
Yeah.
and pair him with Jade Cargill, who we've already discussed is green, isn't as elevated, and physically, legitimately isn't as strong. Everyone loses.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to turn around and build Miro as the top fucking heel who doesn't care who the fuck he beats up, women and men included. Because if you're going to elevate a heel to the top level, Austin got away with it because there was the element that
Montez and Bianca.
Austin didn't care. Austin did what Austin wanted to do, but that's a once-in-a-lifetime situation.
Yeah.
Could you have said that 20 years prior if Hulk Hogan came out and body slammed Miss Elizabeth during him and Macho's feud?
Well, Miss Elizabeth wasn't a worker. Now, if you would say Sherry Martel, she could beat up half the roster.
Absolutely. But if you're building the story,
She did.
that Hogan has to beat Sherry Martel to get to Macho Man and still be a babyface. The point is you can't book that. It doesn't look that way.
But again, it also goes back to
Okay.
the point that you'd have to book it.
Let's trade this out real quick. What women in the various wrestling companies could you book on top of males that everyone wins on?
Charlotte.
I think Charlotte. I think Rhea.
Yeah,
I think Becky.
yeah.
I don't think that for Bayley.
Maybe Asuka. Maybe.
Maybe
No,
because
Bayley-
they legitimately almost gave Asuka the NXT World Title.
Yeah.
Triple H wanted to do that, and Vince pulled her off. She was going to be completely undefeated in NXT. She was going to beat who was the champ before Adam Cole? Whoever the hell it was. Asuka was going to be NXT World Champion.
But what you do is you keep the weight classes. And that is how you are able to work that correctly.
So you
I
have an
agree.
intergender division.
So with that argument,
Basically, you have
you have a bantamweight
like
division.
what they
Yeah.
used to do with the Intercontinental Championship, where it was not exactly light, like
So-
weight guys, but it wasn't your main heavyweight guys, and that's where you keep it. Because yes, there is a huge weight difference, and you're not going to put a 100-pound girl against a 300-pound guy. You're
But
not
if you
gonna
have
do
a
that.
200-pound woman
But you
versus...
wouldn't, you're very rarely going to put a 100-pound guy against a 300-pound guy.
Yeah.
It's
So,
all the way.
We all agree that
Yeah.
Randy Orton RKOing Nia Jax a couple of years ago didn't hurt Randy
Right.
Orton.
Not at all.
Didn't hurt him
Not
at all. And also didn't hurt Nia.
No.
No.
So with that being said, using Randy Orton as the measuring stick, he's 6'4", he's 230 pounds, solid rock muscle. What women in the WWE roster do you see that feasibly that doesn't kill Orton's heat or the woman shine, could you put the woman over on Orton?
Rhea Ripley.
Any of them that
That's
we
one.
have been talking about.
Charlotte Flair.
One. I'll say Rhea. I may disagree on Charlotte. Now, Charlotte and Cody, that's different because that's history.
No, I could. Charlotte and
Charlotte would be
Orton
history,
would be
too.
So bad. So that's Flair
The
versus
Flair.
Orton.
When he
Yeah.
kicked him in the head.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. What about Rhea and Balor?
Rhea
That
Balor
would-
would be
that
good.
would-
Rhea decides to upend the fucking the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Does she beat Damian Priest too?
Yes.
No.
No.
Eventually, yes.
Damian's a future heavyweight champion.
Eventually,
He
yes.
does not be Damian Priest. No.
It doesn't have to be clean.
No, okay.
It doesn't have to be
Okay, I'll give
clean.
you that. I'll give you
You
that.
wouldn't be able to do it clean.
You wouldn't be able to do it clean.
If she's a heel, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you make the same argument for a let's think about the smaller stars. Liv's probably Liv and Alexa are the smallest women on the roster.
And that's why I'm trying to think about who you would pair.
Johnny Gargano.
That was actually. He could run them with Riddle. He's small enough that he could.
But he's got the legitimate background.
Yeah.
Right. I know. But that's
So
Oh,
in that
okay. So
regard,
how about Riddle and Ronda?
that would be
that is a fucking
Yeah.
story. If you
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
do intergender wrestling, absolutely. Because that story, she comes out and she's like, I bled for women in the UFC, and you
Here's
didn't take
the
UFC
deal.
seriously.
You
That's
remember
a
when
story.
you said the thing about Roman Reigns? Ronda has the capability to beat Roman Reigns.
No.
Baddest
If,
girl
hold
in the
on.
ring against
If
the baddest
you
woman on the
she's
planet.
the only one in the WWE that you would stand a chance
I agree.
due to background, like you were saying about Riddle.
But if you look at
I'm not saying it would ever happen.
No,
I'm
we're
just
just-
saying
yeah.
she has the credibility to be able to pull it off and not get hurt by it.
if you did it one time
One
for a
time.
big payoff,
Yes.
yes. If you had to develop the story, no.
No develop. Have him
However-
come out, issue an open challenge, and Ronda accepts.
There's a person we're forgetting about on their roster, Shayna Baszler,
Also true.
who can work pretty much. She's worked all the biggest women in the roster.
She's built like a dude.
Shayna and
Shayna is the closest one that's built to China.
you know what would
Yeah.
be one of the best technical wrestling matches? Shayna and Riddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shayna and Gable.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a fucking that's a wrestling match.
Shayna and Ziggler.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ziggler would bump his ass off for
That'd be-
Shayna.
that's- yeah.
He wouldn't bump his ass off for Ronda because she doesn't get the finesse, but Shayna is a totally different
All
conversation.
right,
That's
maybe
because
we start winding this down a little bit.
Yeah, we're almost at 3 hour mark.
Yeah.
Well, we'll wait for our editor to get
Well,
back
let's go
into
ahead
the-
and say, since we've went so long, let's go 3 questions. 3 questions from
Three
anybody.
questions about wrestling. If you're still watching, our 10 viewers, we were up to I think 30 earlier. But if you're still on the show and still watching, you get 3 questions about wrestling or just in general.
No, John, Orton is the greatest of all time. Not
be
just
argued.
this era.
There's an argument to be
All
made.
time.
There is an argument to
It
be made.
really is. You know who puts over Orton every single chance he gets is Bully Ray.
Yep.
No, I
Just
thought you were
think.
gonna say me.
Well, no,
Well,
but,
yeah.
but someone like has been with
Somebody
him.
that actually matters.
Thinks, no. But like Bully Ray never fails to sing the praises of Randy Orton,
No.
nor
That's
should he.
because he's smart.
'Cause
and he
he's the
knows
fucking
he's
best.
The greatest of all.
All right, y'all, 3 questions. Come on. If you don't have questions by the 250 mark, we're closing up because this is the longest show we've ever done, which is fine, and we're having a great time.
Actually, no. It's technically...
This will, if we go to 3, it'll be the longest show.
No, we did the Royal Rumble watch-along that was over 3 hours.
Oh, that's a special. I'm talking
Tamina and Otis.
Yeah.
about- Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about Tamina.
Tamina, if Nia Jax wasn't gone, you could throw her in with pretty much anyone right now.
Yeah.
With the exception of maybe Cody, Randy, Edge,
Yeah.
top guys. But you could definitely throw Tamina in there with pretty much everybody else. And Nia Jax as well as what I said before.
Yeah.
No, right now you could take Natty and her partner.
Sonya Deville. Also,
No, not her. Her old other partner. What's her name? The Snuka. Tamina. Yeah, put them back together
Hold on.
and put them in a match with.
is there a Guinness World Record for longest running episode of a wrestling podcast?
Oh,
I don't think so.
not that I have found.
Let's
but I
look
will
into
look
that.
into that.
That we could absolutely beat.
Yeah,
John
they're-
Wagner
they're-
asks, who was your favorite tag team partner? I think that's pretty obvious. He's sitting beside me.
John, shut up.
No, I'm over here, Luke.
There's never been a situation where we all haven't been tag team partners.
At least once.
Trios champions, baby.
right,
This
third
be a weird question, but who would win, Bray Wyatt or his alter ego, The Fiend?
The Fiend.
The Fiend. Just from booking purposes.
Yeah.
Who's the better
No.
worker, Bray Wyatt?
It would be Bray Wyatt because
Also, the picture's gone.
Gone.
he would get in the head of the Fiend.
We have the picture.
Uh-oh.
I've still got it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever.
Might
All
be
right.
your connection, Beth.
One more question, and then we're closing up shop. Uno mas, y'all. You have 4 minutes.
Lost tequila?
I got tequila.
Music of your people.
Bitch. I heard you.
minute.
One more question.
Hold
Come
on. No, the screen is black, she said.
I've still got it up on mine.
Yeah, I can see it on mine. Ours has been running. This is. Mine's been running the whole time.
Yeah. We good?
Yep, I have screen as well.
Hold on a minute. How far behind are we on the lag?
Couple minutes.
Yeah.
Mine's not.
No, that was only. Well, we just fist bumped. That's what.
Yeah.
35 seconds.
Yeah, we have it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
see you
Wolfie's
guys
got
just
it.
fine. Yeah.
All right, Wolfie, give us a good question to close out on, Wolfie. I'm depending on you right now.
Wolfie, this is the most important question in the world that we're putting in your hands. Give us a closing question. My
Got
butt is asleep.
For God's sake, I have to pee so bad. Bethany, if I wanted to play a trick on you, I would have to go through the editor to do that because we all know that I don't know how computers actually
Would you
work.
turn it over? So would you technically say you were turning a trick? Pretty good at that.
Subscribe to my OnlyFans, you find out.
Buy a bikini while you're on the internet.
Come on, Wolfie.
Wolfie,
Come on, baby. We counting on you,
make
my
it
man.
count. Make it a good one.
Show the socials again.
Fuck, what's the longest running goddamn wrestling podcast? Because we can absolutely beat that.
All right, here's a question
Episode.
for you.
Episode.
Do you think with Triple H and them now in charge that there's a possibility someday you can get a crossover between the E and AEW?
Yes.
100%.
Triple H said,
Go ahead and make that more abundantly what she asked, just in case they can't hear her at home.
Coletta here asked, do we think while Triple H runs the WWE, there's potential for a crossover between the WWE and AEW? Yes. When the first idea came about, they could cooperate with Jericho going to do the Stone Cold podcast, which is the first crossover that the WWE has done in the modern era, not including the tandem pay-per-view they did with the AWA forever ago, and their multiple deals with AAA and JPW. Triple H was the first one who said the WWE is open to business, which means they're open to working with other companies. It absolutely was a possibility.
Yeah, I believe
With him
100%.
in control, without Vince in the way, and without the shareholders interjecting themselves for their detriment, because you have to consider they're a globally traded company. So they have to consider where their money's going to go. If they can explain you're going to make so much more money, abso-fucking-lutely. Triple H at the helm, with Billy Gunn being an agent right across the pond, who he can just text and be like, hey, send us Darby Allin.
Yeah.
Even on a small scale, send us Darby Allin. Why? We're doing NXT special. We got Tyler Bate. That's a match no one's ever seen before.
Yep.
We're not losing the WWE traction. AEW doesn't get hurt. They get the exposure absolutely on the mainstream scale. Think about every WWE superstar right now who loves Triple H, who hated Vince, but are now contractually obligated to be where they are. QED, Aleister Black. who
QED,
is-
Adam Cole.
who is one of the superstars that said, when they got reached out to, I've got 5 years left. But when I get out, I'm only 38.
I'll see you in 5
I'll
years.
see you in 5 years. There is so much potential, and honestly, it's a money grab because right now that's the thing missing in the wrestling atmosphere. It would also be the first time that the WWE has reached out and done a tandem pay-per-view with a property they didn't own since the 1980s. If you want to talk money, you want to talk ratings, and you want to talk about the conversation where you're all actually independent contractors and you can pseudo do what you want to do and we're all going to make money because we're not only going to do that one time. Fuck yeah, Triple H is the guy.
Okay.
Considering at one point in time, he was the one brokering deals to get fucking Hall and Nash to come out on the WWF TV.
Yeah.
Nash says he didn't know. That's bullshit. Triple H has said in 2 shoot interviews, he called Nash and said, you and Hall should walk out. No, absolutely. And not just there. They go to NJPW. If Ring of Honor launches their own thing, that's your fucking money, NXT and Ring of Honor.
So yes, the long version, yeah, or short version, yes, 100%. We have
2
our
last
final-
questions.
We have our
Who would you face that's a Hall of Famer and Breaker versus Wardlow? Let's go to Breaker versus Wardlow first. Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker.
More seasoned worker, has the legacy, power for power, Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Who would you face that's a Hall of Famer? Harley Race.
Alive or dead, Mick Foley. I mean, me and Mick tear it down.
Those are both valuable answers considering our specific genres of wrestling.
Yeah, me and Mick Foley would tear it down.
Because I would have killed in my prime to wrestle Harley Race just the one time when he wasn't in his prime.
Yeah. Me and Mick Foley, my career was completely modeled after Mick
Honorable
Foley.
mention, when I was a mega heel, fucking Roddy Piper, because we'd have done so much business.
Yeah. Max? You could face one Hall of Famer, alive or dead. Who would it be? Who you think would be
If
your
it's
best
not
match?
Sean Waltman, it's the wrong answer, because that's all I've ever thought about.
Well, he's not in there yet, but I'm going to say Randy Orton.
No, you have to wrestle X-Pac.
Well, Xbox in there too.
You don't have a choice. You have to.
My top 3 were always Jeff Hardy, Xbox, and Randy Orton. So
All 3 of those would be viable. I might want to take a shot at Vader.
I would sell my ass off for Kevin Nash.
I
that's
think
just not
got
Kevin
it,
Nash.
but I wouldn't want him to say what it means.
Please, just powerbomb. I love it. All right, y'all. We have done this show for almost 3 hours. Thank you for tuning in today. It's been a very long day. Been a great day, though. Been a lot of fun.
She'll decide.
I'm about to.
Well, I didn't say anything. I don't.
You don't know his truth.
You know my truth. I'll shit in your fucking dog's box.
I'll shit in your washing machine. Don't start with me.
And you know what? I'm gonna tell. I'm gonna tell Mom.
You're not going to tell Mom shit.
Tell
I'll
Mom.
call Mom right now.
Wait,
All right,
you
goddammit.
want to hear an interesting story real quick?
What?
You know how DX does that suck it thing
Uh-huh.
all the time? You know that was my idea. Way back in the day, we were sitting around. I was sitting around talking with Mom. Triple H said something. I don't remember what it was. He said something to me. I said, "Yeah, you know what? I got 2 words for you," and it was all born from there.
Is that the day that you did the helicopter?
That was right after we got back from Nam.
Do you know whose actual idea of the sucker thing was? Davey Hart Smith.
So yes, it was
That makes sense.
Rich Bulldog. All right. Make sure to find us at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Follow us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. Send us an email at prowrestlingthrowdown@gmail.com. Follow us on TikTok at Pro Wrestling Throwdown 1. Check out streamlabs.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown to find our merch store. And thank you all so much for standing in for this arduous and very long episode.
By the way, if you're at the merch store, check out the new women's bikini. Here's the deal. You won't get in trouble for Caleb being in your crotch. It's fantastic. Let's do this. Let's sell a bunch of them. If they go over, we'll start selling some more outlandish stuff.
Don't forget, we're not here next Sunday. We're here next Monday, September 5th, Labor Day, for the Labor Day special.
Show up in your bikinis.
With all of that being said, and my marriage on the line, thanks for tuning in. And as always, keep it in the ring.
Keep it in the ring, and that's fine.
I cannot.
Just,
Can we close one episode?
Crotch bikini.
it's all my idea.
It wasn't even my idea to put my face on it. It was yours.
Well, you put your face in a lot of crotches. Ain't my idea.
That's not. Close this goddamn episode.